go.
Check. Oh. Yeah, we're good.
Yep. Sweet. Well, the only podcast we've done with you, I think, was like a COVID Zoom. I think.
I did something where I came
years ago.
No, I did one. I came here because only reason I remember because I didn't know it was on being filmed. I thought it was just voice, and I rode my bike and I was like couldn't find the house. So I was like dripping sweat when I came in, and just like, oh my god, it's on. You're filming this, okay?
But that was back when we had no viewers.
Probably
on YouTube.
Probably.
Yeah. Our YouTube was very fresh back then.
Yeah.
Now we have millions minus.
Well, kind of. So it took us like 4 years to hit 1 million views, and we hit that in the first 5 months this year.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So actually.
Is that combined or is that like individual?
If we had an individual one like that, that would have been pretty solid. That's combined.
Okay.
Imagine if everyone used our promo code that views this.
Be big.
What's the promo code?
Well, we got a new one.
Since you asked.
Yeah.
Just self-plugging right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's SANDCAST 63 for Wilson Volleyballs.
Ooh.
It's a new promo code, so we got to get our fans.
What do you get?
20% off your Wilson Volleyballs. Can get pricey, you know, trying to buy a whole bag. Also, yesterday, the orange balls.
Yeah.
Those were really nice.
Could be the first one out there.
Yeah.
We got these kids coming over like, hey, do you guys have your names on the balls? And we're like, if we had a whole bag of orange balls, this wouldn't be a problem.
Easier shag.
And they use that strictly for
OPTX.
grass?
No. It's the grass design,
all the grass
but it's
tournaments
the same.
use it.
They made it the same ball now. OPTX.
Yeah, it's the same thing, just different color. Great marketing.
I like the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, the colors are
I
nice.
gravitated towards the color of the pink and blue one. Like I said, I thought your daughter, I was like, dang, man, her coloring skills were awesome.
Yeah, she's like,
I was like, how'd she stay in the
didn't
lines?
miss any line.
I was impressive. And then I saw, because I had never seen that before.
Do college programs, can you guys get custom made balls like FSU?
Yeah, well, the Wilson did a Seminole head, a colored Seminole head, and then last year it wasn't colored, but we still could get the custom. Not with the promo code though; it was a little pricey. But yeah, now actually they're going to change the ball.
Oh, they're changing it again? Or, just NCAA?
Different company, yeah.
Wait, so NCAA's getting away from Wilson?
Yes.
Whoa.
There's like a backstory to that. I don't know if I know all the details,
Yeah.
but it's going to be Molten for 5 years.
Molten.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
really.
Molten does the...
That's an Orseca ball, right?
They do the indoor ball too.
Okay.
So I think it's like combining the indoor and like with the NCAA.
Okay.
So,
Did you ever play a Norseca with the Moltens?
Mm-hmm.
Shoo!
We all have.
Super balls.
The bouncy ones, right? The red, white, and blue ones?
the really big ones. When it rained, that was just...
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they've changed a lot about it. And so I think it'll be similar to the Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more like that white and blue one that they have. I pray it's like that. Because those other balls are terrible.
Instead of the lime green. That's the old Molten.
Yeah. Well, remember they had...
I think it will be a similar color.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did like this study on what your eye picks up.
Really?
Yeah. And it's going to be that, I want to say lime green, but like that kind of like highlighter green.
Okay.
And then like a blue.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That was the I guess reasoning, the selling point behind the optics as well, right?
Spin technology.
Yeah, your eye
spin
picks it up. Yeah.
technology
Which those new colors you had, I like that. That was
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about it yesterday. Is like if we train strictly with orange balls and then switch to yellow for tournaments, would it really make a difference? I don't think so. But
I think if you trained with, you have 20 different balls of 20 different colors, I think you're probably going to end up being better.
you'll figure it out.
Yeah. You pick up anything.
That's why you throw in the mini ball. This guy will just like
Oh, yeah.
serve a mini ball out of nowhere.
Surprise.
I like it.
A little differentiation.
He likes to feed my ADHD. Ooh, something new. Cool.
I think the NCAA, like, changes are just wholesale all the time. Because, I mean, since you took the job 2015 as head coach at FSU?
Summer after the 2015 season, so summer 2015, yeah.
And this is your, 9th or 10th season?
It just,
this upcoming year?
finished the 9th, yeah. This will be the 10th, yeah.
In those 10 years, I feel like you've seen the sport change it doesn't resemble anything of what it did when you actually took the job.
Yeah, I mean, they had a pairs championship the same time as the team before I got there. And then, it was an AVCA championship. And now the NCAA, what they've done with the championship in Gulf Shores is like unbelievable. Like there's huge video boards. They do like photo shoots with the players, and they have like their top broadcast team doing it. So they really it's amazing, and it's so cool. It's going to be different going to Huntington Beach. So that'll be interesting to see that setup.
Oh, it's in Huntington instead of Gulf Shores now?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you guys got to go.
I hear good things. Yeah, I'll go for sure. I've been hearing such good things about Gulf Shores that I want to go, besides like the travel. I hear everyone's like, it's terrible
the travel
to try
for the
to get
West
there.
Coast schools, they're probably harder.
But Gulf Shores seems like a really sick venue.
It's beautiful. That's funny enough. That was the first open tournament I ever played. Was at Gulf Shores, and it was during the NCAA tournament.
Oh, really?
So that was my first
What year was
exposure
that?
to beach volleyball. That would have been 2015,
Okay.
2014 maybe.
Yeah, so that was the last year's AVCA championship.
Yeah.
So I think it was not as big of a production, but it was still like gorgeous beaches. So it's definitely something that people have to experience.
I can't picture gorgeous beaches over there.
Well, that's
No
funny.
offense over there, but first of all, I don't think
I
I've
said
ever
the
been
same
to a
thing.
Gulf Shore beach. So I'm just picturing New Orleans and Texas just kind of hitting Gulf Shore. I'm not picturing like Caribbean water.
It is
But I
kind
think
of.
I guess
you've
I'm
been
wrong.
to the Caribbean. I've never been to the Caribbean.
I mean, the white sand, it's awesome. Like, it's completely
Sick.
different.
Underrated.
That whole Panhandle area.
Yeah.
And Gulf Shores kind of falls into that category. But, there's no place like it, I think.
Oh,
So
interesting.
It's cool that they've been able to build that culture too, because it became a thing. Like, we're going to Gulf Shores, where I think it's similar to with softball in Oklahoma and baseball in Omaha. It's just it built a huge thing.
Yeah.
But I think Huntington, just the ease of getting there, I think it makes sense. I'm curious what your thoughts on it. Like, would you rather? Obviously, it's easier for Florida State to get to Gulf Shores than it is to Huntington Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, like Florida State, LSU, I think South Carolina were all within like 3.5, 4 hours of Gulf Shores. So it's like a really easy drive, where, yes, like the Hawaiis, and it's way harder for them.
Hawaii to Gulf Shores. That's a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time, actually, I talked to their coach a little bit about it. Like, they'll play the Big West Championship. I think they alternate. So whenever it's in Hawaii, it's a little harder. But they'll like go to Cal Poly or whatever, and then go just straight to Gulf Shores. So
that makes sense.
They don't go back home. They're on the road a lot. That's crazy to me, but it's tough.
That's tricky.
Yeah, but I think I'm excited to see it in Huntington, because just the sheer amount of people who can come out. Because Southern California, I mean, you guys know, that's the home of
and
beach
all the
volleyball.
games are so exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know the stat, but it's rare that something's just a blowout 3-0. Like, it's just, everybody knows there's more weight to all the games. It always seems to come down to one game, and it's like third set. So it's just like, gosh, my heart is just pounding thinking of it, some of the games. And you always want to be on the winning end, because it just feels so good. But then sometimes you're on the losing end, and it's like, man, we're done. Like, you just want to stay there as long as you can in that tournament. And it's single limb now, so it makes it even more exciting.
I was going to ask how single limb changed just the heartbeat going into it, because it's wild where you look at the like just the first round matchups last year, and there were maybe 3 where you're like, all right, it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
And then it was Hawaii, LMU, first round.
Yeah.
Something like that. I was like, whoa, that's wild.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. We told our team, we're like, this is like a country quota. It's like that, especially if you're a higher seed, that first game, because like everybody wants to be the underdog in that situation. At least we feel like that. And you're playing that game, and it's like, it's ugly volleyball a little bit, because you have these expectations, and then, but you just got to like push through it, at least that first round. And then once you get there and you're playing a couple games, you know how it is. Like, you get into the tournament and you're like, okay. But like 2 years ago, it was the first round was single elimination, and then it was double elim. So that first single elimination was so nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Like, we were actually down 7-3 in the third set deciding game.
Oh.
So it just came down to this game.
Oh, gosh.
12-7.
Yeah, 12-7.
12-7,
yeah.
And we came back and won. I think it was
Holy
15,
cow.
13 or 15,
Yeah, I was
12.
volunteering, and I
that's a
skipped
That's a solid run.
Huntington AVP.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, I can't believe I skipped the Huntington for this right now. And then the girls came back and won. It was ridiculous, and then made a run all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
So
So we should have lost
Jeez.
Whoa.
yeah,
in the first round.
yeah, and it's crazy because if you lose that game, and it's like, oh, Florida State's terrible. They're
Right.
blew everything, and we end up sneaking that win out, and then making a run to the finals, and we're back.
Yeah.
We're doing such a good job.
Yeah, right.
It's great.
That's how fickle sports go.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't think a lot of people kind of realize. The margin of error is pretty small, but it's fun, exciting. We understand it as athletes.
Yeah.
But maybe the fan or even sometimes the parents, they don't.
How's
they
it
don't get
been like switching your, I guess, mindset? Obviously, you had to learn how to like coach, just period. But like switching your mindset from like being a professional to like teaching the mindset at the college level.
Yeah, I don't. I'm still learning how to do it, right? Because I expect the kids to kind of see what I'm seeing,
Right.
and they don't, and that's my biggest problem, right? The expectation aspect. But I think I'm kind of getting better. And again, we deal with so many different athletes, different personalities, different drives, and so it's hard as an athlete and having control over situations and kind of how much work you can put into it, and the whatever sacrifices you do, and then you're kind of being like, all right, no, kids, you need to do this to kind of succeed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
some do, some don't,
some do.
So
And
it's like,
frustrating.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Brooke, you're like, what, 5 more years or longer? How many more years into it than Nick is?
Yeah,
Nick's
longer
still
than
like,
that. And you've been doing it since 15.
Yeah.
how is it now being out that long from being a player
Well,
at the pro
some
level?
people ask me if I've ever played, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. Yeah. So that's kind of funny sometimes. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's like Nick said, when you're an athlete, you have like all this control, like you're in the game, especially like we were smaller players getting served a lot.
Yeah.
Like, when you're not getting served, you're like, it's kind of like out of control.
Right.
It's kind of like that coaching. Like you can do all the stuff that you prepare and practice and video or whatever, and then you just let it fly. And it's, I think I actually like that part of it, because it's like cool to see other people's journey and like how they take it. And one thing I've learned is like, you don't have to have our personality to be good,
Right.
So like all these personalities and getting to know them can be competitive in their own ways. So it's like almost like a puzzle you have to figure out, and then how you partner them, and like, okay, what will make their skill set better in this situation.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is kind of cool. And I've let go of that control a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something, that
Yeah, I
Nick.
can't figure it out. It drives me nuts.
yeah, because
So-
it's hard. You're just like, you put everything into this. Like we spend more time with these kids than our own kids a lot of the time, and so it's like, but it's not their results. It's just like a journey. It's just like what they're going through.
Yeah, I think about it a lot.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know if I want to do coaching. Like, I don't think I want to coach, but I'm also super interested in whether or not I'd be good at it. Because it just like, right now I'm just like, but every kid's so different. Like, how are you supposed to know how to coach?
Yeah.
yeah,
And then like this kid, like it makes complete sense what you just said, but this kid, it makes no sense. You have to figure out how to tell him in different ways. I mean, I'm just like, me being with coaches, I'm like, he doesn't know how to talk to me yet. Like, but also like, how hard is it for him to like try to understand how to talk to me versus him? And like,
or think back like when you first started, you're like, I actually don't know how I want to be talked to.
right.
Like
but you
they're
have
still
20 of
figuring
these,
that.
and they're young. Like they're in that growth changing phase. Whereas like I'm an adult now, like I'm pretty set. Like I know myself pretty well.
Yeah.
Whereas these kids, like they don't even know themselves that well, right? They're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, college is a big time for change. I've learned like in personality and everything. But it's crazy. These kids are coming in with way more experience, like at their age.
Right.
So it's like, if you don't know what you're talking about, they'll also kind of call you out on it.
Right.
So that's why I think it's good that we always have had such a strong coaching staff.
Right, for sure. Yeah, you guys got a lot of credibility.
I'll tell you what, like the whole competitive and being an athlete and like wanting to whatever win, that doesn't go away when your coach is actually still there. Like that's the exciting part, right? When you get into sports, competing and the issue is, usually when you're a player, you get, that nervous energy and kind of once you start playing, it'll kind of go away. Well, with coaching, it's just there the whole time.
Oh, no.
And you got to hide it.
Right.
Yeah. It builds.
Yeah.
As it goes.
And I don't hide it. So it's like, which, but that feeling of, when you do win or whatever, when you see the kids kind of do kind of what we're talking about is pretty rewarding and exciting. Mm-hmm. That's what kind of keeps me motivated to kind of do it.
I'm curious, because I hear a lot of coaches, especially with big teams, talk about culture. Yeah. And like the coaches have to establish what that culture is going to be and then get all the athletes to buy into it. Like that's that unifying thing versus, because every kid's going to be so different. How does that work with you guys? Like,
don't even ask me. That's
the boss. I'm asking
Niles,
the boss.
Listen, I tell everybody, no place is perfect, right? And you keep having to try to work on it. And I think the interesting thing is like they come from juniors, and now they're doing more team stuff with juniors. But you really can enter any tournament you want. You can play with whoever you want. It's like you're never like sitting off to the side,
right.
And so in college, obviously, like we pick who goes in and who plays with who, and we try to give people a lot of playing time, but then the last two tournaments, like you can't change anything. So it's just like about them, I think, connecting with each other on a personal level and like rooting for their teammates. And one thing we try to tell them is like, it's you have to work hard, you have to earn it, but it's also maybe not on your timeline, which you guys have probably experienced too with sports.
Yeah, I need to learn that.
Yeah, which is so hard for anyone. Like, and it's like, okay, I feel like I'm ready for this now. Well, 20 other people feel like they're ready for this now. Yeah. And then, it is our decision. And so like, you have to trust us too. Yeah. And so we try to do a lot of things outside of volleyball. But that's still a really hard piece. Yeah. And, it's not that if we pick somebody, it's not because we like them better. It's just we feel like with our experience that's going to help our team win. And it is a little bit about winning and developing and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's so hard, but it's something that we really focus on.
This is why I'm like, I don't know if I want to get
well,
that sounds so hard.
That's the tough part. And I don't think you're ever going to have a perfect, because you're dealing with, we had 28 ladies last year. It's 28 different egos and personalities,
for sure,
right? And and so you think if you have 28, you'd be like, all right, I'll just put this person with this person, blocker defender, makes sense. And then that person's like, no, I can't play with her because I played with her in juniors 6 years ago and I didn't like it.
Right.
I was like, what? Okay. And or someone's like doesn't get along with someone, and it's just. So it's not easy to just be like, well, let's just put the best two players or whatever you think.
There's always,
it's that's the hard part for me to be like, all right, just let's suck it up and just play. And actually, we did something this year, which I thought was awesome. We had, the pairs championship they do in November. Am I allowed to talk? Or?
Yeah. Of course.
I feel judgment.
No, I just know where you're going, and I'm just like giggling inside.
I can pivot at any time. No one knows where I'm going. I don't even know where I'm going right now. But
your instincts.
So the pairs championship they do in the fall, and kind of whatever. I'm still not bought into the tournament yet, but I was like, well, let's make these girls kind of pick themselves. So they have to go out of their comfort zone and be like, hey, Travis, you want to play? And Travis is like, no, I'm waiting for someone else to kind of... And they did not like that at all. Like everyone having anxiety about... I was like, no, this is how it works, actually, when you get done with college.
Yep.
Like if this is something you want to continue to do.
Right.
And... so it didn't got a little pushback, but I was like, we're doing this. And it actually ended up working out where everyone got their partners, and it was we made them play a tournament, single tournament, and it was the most competitive tournament I had seen. It was awesome. I was like just watching this and watching how kind of everyone kind of chose their partners and whatnot. And I thought it was a great kind of experiment for me because, yeah, we do have control and picking partners and stuff. And I remember Brazil kind of did it in the 2012 through 16 era, and that kind of didn't work. It failed.
Yeah.
Like they, and I was like, well, maybe that's not the right way to go about it.
Huh.
And I was like, maybe these girls should just pick kind of who they want.
Right.
So I actually enjoyed it. They kind of see kind of how it worked, and again, it's still that whole aspect. I come back to the chemistry or the culture thing. I just think it's ever changing, ever evolving.
Yeah.
It's never going to be perfect because as soon as you get a little bit of adversity or something, you lose when you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like things can crumble really easily.
Yeah, when you try to, I mean, I've learned it many times over, but like you try to hold the reins too tight and control everything and like, well, it's supposed to go this way. It just doesn't work like that. You don't get to like know exactly what's going to happen and how. Like you get to put out your best effort there, and then you just got to deal with the results. And like what looks good on paper is not always like
100%.
You play money ball with it. On paper, this is exactly what should happen. It's like you said, maybe they don't like each other or something. Like there's something someone said at some point, and I don't know. It could be anything.
And that's exactly
a little energy thing. They come from different places, and there's just things that just don't click. They're not making each other better. They respect each other, but they're not helping each other improve or something. It's like how you just don't know until you find a team that just like clicks, like a Taryn and Kristen. They're just like, this works. We're going to do this forever.
Yeah.
And it absolutely is working.
I think Megan, Therese too.
Even
you put those together,
Sarah
two good
and
players,
Kelly.
but they got that 2+2=5 type deal going on.
Look at Sarah
right now.
and Kelly.
Yeah.
Together, dominated. They're like, let's put that back together. That worked. And then they're back dominating again.
Yeah, but it didn't work in the beginning when they came out of college, right?
For a bit, right?
Yeah.
So they're at different times of their lives.
Yes,
right?
And that's the whole thing that Brooke was saying, like maybe it's not the right time. I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
well, and the one thing I really enjoy about Taryn and Kristen is that, like, I'm sure people have always said to them, like, you should go like a different route. I think we've all like kind of thought it when they first came out.
Right.
And that's, I think, what happens too, is you get these outside people putting their opinion on your team or your pairing, and they just have this faith in each other that I love. I'm so excited to watch the Olympics and watch all those teams. And it seems like Sarah and Kelly have went apart and now they're back together. So they have that like belief in each other too. And it just gives me the chills thinking about it. Like our U.S. women's side is so dominant.
Yeah, we got a good shot.
Yeah.
Yes, and I cannot wait to watch. But Taryn and Kristen specifically, like I'm sure they've had those people try to pull them apart or whatever.
For
and
sure.
they just
guilty. Like I sent a message to Nessa's brother, who I competed against when they were first coming in to do the world tour, and I was like, dude, it is like the way the system is. For them to kind of get into the main draw, it's going to be almost impossible, right? I was like, let them play. I was like, Kelly wants to probably play with Kristen. Like, let them play for a year and then come back.
Right.
And I was like, I thought I was trying to help out. And like, nah, they're going to stick together and do their own way. And I was like...
But you weren't wrong, given the time that you sent that you talked to him. Because that was when only 4 teams could get in.
Yeah, that's
and they
true.
had 0 chance. But then they changed the system... And that was the best thing.
Right.
Because they would have had to, if the system stayed, they couldn't have stayed together.
Yeah, they just missed country quota. Like perfect timing with all the country quota stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember talking to them, I was at FUDS, and they called me and were like, hey, you kind of know how points work. Like, how can we get into events? It's like, at the moment, you literally cannot.
Yeah.
Unless you come out and you win a NORCECA qualifier and build yourself up that way. But then they changed the system to get out the country quotas. And even that first event they played in Australia, Taryn was signed up with Aurora Davis.
Yeah.
And then once they figured out they were going to get off the reserve list, then they swapped Aurora for Kristen, and then they came out, won, and then they were off to the races. But
see, it takes a little magic.
It takes a little magic. It takes some proper timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. And what I like, what they've done or what they're doing is they're not doing it out here where everyone thinks you need to be and kind of... like they're doing their own thing. And,
Proving you and Phil right. They're helping.
Well, Yes, I mean not because awesome. It's awesome out here, right?
Yeah,
Volleyball,
yeah.
just walking up and down. You know, we've been here 3 weeks. We just walk up and down.
Yeah, for sure.
The Strand, and we see volleyball everywhere. It's like, can't tell you how much we love that.
Right.
But it's also not realistic being able to afford anything
For
out
sure,
here.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
especially at a sport we kind of play in. So I think there should be a way to kind of do the sports outside of the most expensive place probably in the U.S.
For sure.
So it's exciting to see that, hey, it can be done.
Yeah.
It can be done.
And it's been cool because when we had Taryn and Kristen on at the beginning of the year, and Kristen, she's as sweet as they come, also as stubborn and as competitive as they come. And she said, my whole goal with this was to rewrite the script. And that's sort of been their big theme, is rewrite the script that you don't have to be in
Pump
California.
the brakes, Kristen. It was written. Okay?
You drafted.
You got a new chapter, a new part 2 or whatever. So,
It'll be co-written.
Yeah. No,
The Kristen Nuss, Nick Lucena book.
it's awesome to see, and it's crazy to think we have 2 teams that can podium for the women.
Yeah. It's beneficial too for the next generations to see that you don't have to be in this cookie cutter system.
Yeah.
You might not be the best version of yourself if you're from, let's just say, Louisiana, and that's just you and your culture and where you're your best version of yourself. And you're like, well, I have to move to California and struggle and live in a little studio because I can't afford anything, and I have to go out every day and do things a certain way, and however the national team tells me to do it. Like, most people fall into that, right? And they're just like, I have to do it exactly how Kristen's like, nah, I'm going to prove that wrong, you know. And you guys did that. You guys were like, nah, we're going to... When you guys first said you're going to bail to Florida, we're like, well, hopefully they don't get good training. Hopefully they're not getting the treatment and the funding anymore, and then they start sucking. And that didn't work. But
I also think it's like if you take a day off here, like you're training, you take a day off, and you go for a walk, it's like you see everybody training.
Yeah.
It gives me anxiety.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh my
for
God,
sure.
I should be out there.
Exactly.
Like, I lived in Santa Barbara, so I would come down here and train, but then I'd drive back.
Yep.
And I didn't have that
You can't get away
comparison
from it.
game. And I felt like you could be more at peace when you're,
Yeah.
hey, this is my plan. I'm going to lift this amount. I'm going to take this day off. And then everybody's here all the time. It's like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? And
That's
you can
so
just
true.
go crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I know you take breaks and go to Hawaii and
Yeah.
all that stuff, which I think is awesome. But just being here all the time for me is like, man, am I not doing enough?
That's a good point. I definitely live that, where I walk down there and I see it and all that. But yeah, like just the day-to-day of it, that small anxiousness or questioning yourself, if you're carrying that around day to day throughout the year, that's a heavy weight that can totally affect your performance, your sleep, your recovery, everything.
It can also make you pretty good too.
Well, that's
that's
another
what-
way to look at it.
Like, I was starting at 24 years old, I was way behind as it was.
Right.
And I'd go out and I'd see other people practicing. I'm like, shoot, if they're getting better than I'm not, then I'm getting worse. And I'm already way behind anyway. I was like, all right, 6 days a week, 7 days a week it is.
That's
And
a
then
good point.
And then you burn out.
For sure. Like, people need
Did you burn out?
motivation.
I would go through, every year, I would have to stop playing a little bit earlier because I would just get super burned out. Because I would be on the sand 4 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And then lifting.
Because you
4
play
or
with
5.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam trains
Adam,
every day.
Rob.
No days
That's
off.
too much.
No
days
tournaments off.
Yep.
Yeah, that's too much.
38 tournaments in a year.
I like
Nonstop.
being a veteran. I like that non-comparison. I'm not trying to take on that artistic. I was telling you, that artistic approach of literally just be in your zone, go out there, do what you enjoy, what you feel is your best version of it, and then just put it out there to the world with no, connection, attachment to the outcome. And then just go back to work again and just keep putting your best piece of art out there without caring about what other people think. You're just making this thing for you and whatever makes you feel good. But it's tricky in sports because you're not in art. You're not painting,
Yeah.
You're competing. That's your
Yeah.
job, is to actually be in comparison and fight against this clock and the scoreboard. And so the balance of that is a little tricky.
Yeah, because that's one thing. I've been working with Evan Corey since last fall, and I mandated breaks for him.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this week you're going to go to Yosemite. This week you're just going to find another place in nature. Because he's like, I don't go 6 days a week, play all these tournaments. I'm like, all right, well, if you're going to play the league, you need to be good through November. You're not going to be great if you don't take time off.
Yeah.
And so he won something, went to Yosemite, and then won 2 tournaments in a row. It's like, perfect. Great job.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you just got to have like a goal, right? Like a training block and a goal. These guys were like really good at it with their coach Jason, like the way they planned it and trained everything and planned it out. But I get it at the beginning when you're learning something, like you want to play all the time and learn and be hungry. But yeah, once you get a little more experienced, or even like the college season is 10 weeks, but it's like a crazy 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And you get like 1 week off, but it's just like a lot of travel, a lot of tough competition, a lot of playing. And so kids can be burnt out by like week 10.
Yeah.
And that's the most important week. So,
I mean, it's crazy what a sprint the NCAA season is.
Yeah.
Because first tournament end of February.
Yeah.
Usually. Mm-hmm. And then it's just every weekend. I mean, because you guys were what, like 31-8 last year? So you're playing 40 matches.
Yes, I learned that was probably my
2.5 months.
Yeah. So my first year, because you only have certain days, so you can play 16 competition dates. You can play as many matches as you want in those days. So like, I remember my first couple of years, I just said, okay, we'll play 3 duels every day that we get to play, and awesome.
Yeah.
And actually, the players didn't really mind, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, that was insane. So everybody's like, how do you have 30 wins? And I'm like, well, we just played all the time. And 1 weekend off, and then we'll just play. Like one weekend we played 7 duels in 2 days, and we had we could rotate people in or whatever, but at some point you can't really rotate your 1s and 2s a lot.
Right.
So that was something I learned that was a little crazy. But in my opinion, I was like, wow, it's only a 10-week season where we had used to playing 20 tournaments a summer.
Right.
So I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. But yeah, lesson learned for sure.
What are some of the other big ones that you've learned?
I think it's just that piece that we were talking about. Like, once you get into college, you have a certain restriction on hours that you can train the players. And so they come off summer, and then you can only work with them 8 hours a week. And we do like 5 of those hours are strength and conditioning. So it's only 3 hours of volleyball. So it's like trying to get them to buy in, like, hey, this is a plan. We're peaking for something. It's just different seasons and stuff like that. Because they kind of come in and they're just like, they play so many tournaments, but they don't necessarily get that lift and conditioning in. So like the fall is all about building a base. So just like trying to get everybody on the same page. I'd have to think about that. You learn any lessons?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still learning, still trying to figure. There's, like I said, I don't think there's a right way to do it, like a perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like Dane probably has the perfect way to do it. So, I don't know. But it's ever evolving. It's trying to, because we're just trying to teach these kids kind of how we were taught, and what I'm learning is, hey, that's not for kind of everyone. So you do have to be able to adapt and kind of be understanding and mindful of kind of where the student athlete's coming from, and kind of how we can try to get the best out of them, find kind of a balance. Yeah. But for the most part, it's awesome. Like last year's probably the biggest hurdle for me as a coach. But also, we did have 28 athletes. It's a lot. And a unique situation, right? We had 2 girls that were seniors in high school that were coming in early for semester, which I thought was awesome. And then we do have indoor kind of crossover athletes. So, but it's I'm learning every day, and so how can we get better? For next season, and we'll try not to make the same mistakes as we did last season, and just see how it goes. But it's crazy because if you were to take our season last year, I would have said it's one of the most successful seasons we've had. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We played
everyone.
Played everyone. Everyone had a win. It was awesome. And then you take a 5th at the last tournament of the year, and then everyone's like, it's crumble. I can't believe you guys blew it. You get emails from parents like, oh, I was like, okay. So I'm like, whatever. It's a success for me, and kind of the girls kind of that we had, I thought it was awesome. Obviously, there's only one winner, and everyone's always going to be disappointed no matter what. But I'm just like, it's so hard, and so it's hard to win in anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when it does happen, it's magical, and you got to appreciate it. Like even whatever we won a conference championship, which I thought was all, like impressive to do with what we were dealing with at the time. But it all comes down to that last tournament, and you have to perform at that last tournament. Same with the Olympics, right? Everyone makes it like a big deal, but if you don't medal at the Olympics, you're like, yeah. Like my brother called me to remind me. Not too long ago, he was with his buddies, and he's having a couple drinks, and he's like, hey, and I get a call from him, and I'm like, what's up, you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm just around, he was mentioning buddies that we're with, and he's like, we just try to figure out if we knew any Olympians that never won a medal. and it was you. And they all start laughing, and I'm like, and it's just one tournament, like tries one tournaments, but it's hard to win, but as soon as you win, then it's the next event, right? Like the Olympics will happen, whatever. Then it's going to come down to 2 weeks later it's Manhattan, and
right?
Ever evolving. You kind of just got to be ready because there's only one winner, and you're going to be disappointed most of the time.
Yeah.
Very rarely does it happen to one person or one team all the time.
The GOATs, win barely more than they've lost usually, right? If you look at their overall records, that's like
I loved
Federer.
Federer's thing where he won 53% of the points that he played, but he won 80+% of the matches.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Right,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
that was like Travis was pulling up the stats from last year, like to show us how far off we were from the world number ones, and we're like, we're sitting in the 20s in the rankings. But we were barely off from the world number ones in terms of numbers. But like that small
margin,
very small margin.
World champs scored. They won. Perisich Schweiner won 52% of the available points that they played, and Tri and Kane won 59 or 49. Sorry,
I was like, whoa.
49. If you won 59, we're still
didn't break pool.
We're in Paris.
Yeah, that's true.
But 49%, like the 3% margin.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like you're doing it. Like you're doing it, you're training, and you're putting yourself out there, and you're really trying to go for something. And that's the same thing we're doing as coaches. Like we're trying to put the best team forward. We're recruiting. We're laying it all out there, and it doesn't roll our way or whatever. But it's still cool that we're trying to put everything into it. And like that man in the arena poem or whatever it is. Like we have an AD that understands that, which is awesome because he knows how hard it is to win. He was a athlete, but a lot of people don't understand that. So I give credit to everybody that's like, you're so close, right? But you're still doing it, and it's like a lot of people would quit or just like go off to the side and then complain about everybody else and, you should do this and this and this. And it's like, well, at least we can say we're throwing it all out there and seeing how it goes. And it's been pretty fun to do. But
and you're setting the example for the team, right? Like on a micro scale, you want them to do this, what you're doing for their own teams or themselves, but you guys have to set that example, like for the whole culture of the program, right? Is like, we told you we're out here to do our very best, and the wins are going to be hard to come by, like for anyone, even USC, right? Even though they've been dominating. Well, historically, historically.
Yeah, but again, we don't always do the right thing. Like I remember my first year, I was like, I'm the head coach. Like, is okay. Right. All right, they saw something about me but like if I saw myself that year to now, I'm like, oh my gosh, like how did they hire me? Who did I bamboozle to get this job? Yeah. And we make mistakes but I think too, like that's an example. All right, like we may have made some mistakes. Like we're going to keep trying our best. So, but USC has a good thing right now.
My Trojans.
You're surrounded now.
Tell them to start a men's beach team.
I'm a Florida State fan now.
Now you're FSU.
You have the hat. I noticed you didn't wear the hat today. It's okay. It was one training camp. It was magical for that week.
It was.
Now it's over.
It was.
It might have to be an annual thing now. Florida State training camp for you.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I want to host a tournament, like even if it's a small, what do they call the AVP Next or something like that?
Yeah, or AVP
or something.
Contenders.
Yeah.
I don't know what they renamed it.
Oh, yeah.
But
I want to host a tournament with
that'd be
prize money.
sick.
it'd be
That's
awesome.
our goal. Yeah, with our
Heck
new.
yeah.
New
It is?
facility coming in.
First time I'm hearing about this. Just so you know.
A lot of.
Just add it to the.
You were in that
list of
meeting.
And
things.
Nick's
Yeah.
gonna run it.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Pick your own partner.
Yeah. Pick your own partner.
Yeah, but I was talking to because we had Kelly Chang and Jordan Chang over for dinner the night before they left for Paris, and Kelly was like, "All right, well, we can do a Tallahassee training camp.
Yeah.
All right, let's go."
I know. I think
closer
it's
to
cool.
Europe,
Yeah,
seriously.
and then you could see all the different like programs and like how cool would that be? Like even when you guys were there and the players were watching, or like Nick and Phil would train and the players would come out like in between classes and you're watching Olympians, and then like I remember Tri gave like a little blocking tip, and we still talk about it, and they like correlated it to like, okay, we saw him doing it, and then like he's obviously a pretty physical athlete, but they were trying to apply it to their game, and I was like, this is totally awesome.
Nick's like, I've been saying that the whole time. And then you get someone else to come in, right?
No.
It's like being a parent, right?
That's
you
how I
get
love
someone
having
else
this
to
guy
tell
in
them.
practice. It's like, Try, why don't you run a back set in this situation? It's like, because I'm stubborn. It's like, I know you're stubborn, but do it. Another back set. It's like, come on out here anytime you want, Nick.
Yeah. Try forces his back sets when he just passes left, way left of the.
I like passing forward. Yeah.
He's forcing a natural back set. That's one way to do it.
Yeah. See?
No, but we're open to training camps. That'd be awesome.
Heck yeah.
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 Because I think even the facility you have now, I know it's getting upgraded. It's sweet.
Yeah.
And I haven't been there in a couple of years, but I was impressed
It's nice.
last time I was there.
Good sound system. Good vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. We are getting a new courts, a new facility, new building, and we actually want to get deeper sand. So our sand's okay. It's pretty deep. It's not hard packed at all, but we want to get deeper sand. So I think that would be nice, especially with the national championship moving out here. Gulf Shores is beautiful, but a little bit more hard packed sand.
Yeah.
So-
Huntington's hard packed.
Huntington's fairly hard packed.
Huntington is, yeah.
Hard packed and dirty.
But real beaches can be
Yeah.
dug out too. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I'd rather go the other way, like practice really deep and go shallow.
Have you seen the pier recently?
sure.
Which one?
No.
So Huntington,
Huntington?
it's like a blue diamond ski slope. You're going straight downhill. So
Interesting.
they had the AVP qualifier, and if you're on the south side, you were hitting your serves dead downhill.
No way.
If you're on the pier side, going
From the rain or
if you're
what?
going north, I don't know what it was. We had some big storms the last couple winters that sort of changed the complexion of
Yeah,
a
even
lot
here,
of things.
some of the poles were buried to where we had to move the brackets above
Yeah.
the top of the pole.
No way.
It's like half of it.
Are they gonna fix that? I hope.
The court just got.
Yeah,
buried.
well, they fixed it in Hermosa. It's actually been pretty cool. They've taken, because the sand was on top of the strand wall at a lot of places, and
Oh
so they
my
had
God.
bulldozers
Yeah.
just drag it all the way back to shore. So now the poles are like cartoonishly big
Wow.
because they just took the sand out. But in Huntington, they got to do something because it's
We're gonna have to get a
you're
slanted
full-
court now to train.
Actually, Avery
Thank you for that
Avery
tip.
Popenga was cracking me up because she was like, poor blockers having to serve then run straight
Yeah.
uphill. to
Uphill
get to the
sprints in the deep sand.
Seriously.
Just a sand dune.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll change, get fixed up by then. But
Well,
it
see,
was
that's
funny
the
watching
thing. Training
qualifier.
camps in Florida, we don't have that rain in the winter.
Yeah. True.
Weather's nice.
It was a little.
Yeah.
It was a little cold.
Yeah.
Some mornings. A little chilly.
Yeah, can be.
Not terrible.
Yeah, where
Terribly
we are.
cold.
Yeah,
That ocean breeze in the winter over here is.
rough.
That's why I partner with another Hawaii kid. I'm like, we want to go to Hawaii in the winter, right? Let's get out of here. Damn Canadian's got his shirt off out there with me. We're fine.
Did either of you guys have coaching experience before going to FSU? 'Cause, I mean, you said, who did I bamboozle to get this job?
Niles
I did coach a lot.
Okay.
My dad was a coach. I grew up like kind of around
Got
coaches
it.
and coaching. I always did it. Like even when I was like 15, 16, I coached things.
Did you
but
coach at
I wouldn't
UCSB?
say it's. I did coach. I coached at UCSB indoor, but I was just learning. You know, I didn't really, and to be like in charge of everybody, I was kind of like, ooh.
I got fired
Yeah.
from my first coaching job.
Yeah, he
What
did.
was that?
At Santa Barbara. And it was for winning.
Blenders volleyball
For
league.
winning.
Yeah, because I played a tournament, and I think it was under 12s at the time. And I just said we're just one balling and doing anything we can to get the ball on the other side. Underhand serving.
Yeah.
And we won, but that's not what we were trying to teach the girls.
Oh, right.
So it was a friend of Brooke's.
She was my college coach.
What's her name?
Liz.
Liz. I deleted her name from my... but yeah, give me a call.
She coached at USC. She was an unbelievable coach.
Oh, 1 for 1 in under 12 blenders championship. And she's like, yeah, you're not exactly what we're kind of... And I was 24, 25 at the time, living in Santa Barbara, trying to
You're like, sorry for
just
winning.
play. Yeah. I was like, listen, see how happy those kids were after we won? See how disappointed those parents were they were trying to pass that and hit?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was my first coaching experience.
So that he put that on the resume, and you said, "That's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my assistant."
Yeah, and I got fired actually twice. That's good. So I did try to volunteer at Florida State.
I did not fire you, first of all.
Let go.
No.
Whatever you want to say.
No.
We're going to move in a different direction.
I did not.
You did a great job, but
Yeah.
First of all, I should have started this podcast with whoever's listening. 15% of what he says believed to be true.
This is true.
All the girls on our team know that.
Yeah, and it's because at the time Phil didn't want to try and go for the Olympics, so we were just going to play domestically.
you should have let him
Yeah,
stick
he
with
dropped
that,
that
bro.
bomb on me and Jason after we had like won 3 tournaments in a row, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just over it, guys." I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "Oh, I might as well start trying to do this coaching thing."
Yeah.
And then he gets whatever he decides he wants to do it. We have to start playing more tournaments and practices, and obviously I wasn't able to
I mean, does that sound like fired to you guys?
well to be fully
Not really.
involved.
No, not really.
Yeah, it
and
sounds
so
like he chose
no.
to
And she's like,
train.
yeah.
Chose Phil over the
I'm
program.
used to that. Jen and I are used to that. They're like a married couple.
No, but she did bring Angela Rock, who's
Yeah.
a big time upgrade, and then I was able to focus on volleyball, and anyways, I count that as a firing. So,
But you got rehired.
got rehired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're back.
Yeah.
yeah, sweet. So it's been good, great transition, right? Like I say, I don't have any other skills, so coaching volleyball is pretty sweet.
Watching you play
For sure.
yesterday, like I said, you'd be a mean ping pong player.
Dude,
I turned around and somehow Nick just sticks out
Wilcox
this
lit
paddle.
him up once, and he freaking dug it. I was like, "Damn, he still got it."
Yeah,
What did that go off of? We had
My
a
hand.
we had a no one up. Oh, it was going right at your
it
nose.
goes in my face. Yeah, and I got my hand up.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I was.
You still got it.
I was like, man, I almost got blasted.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was
I think
doing
you
on the
should
block.
play
Got it.
the
We should
Hermosa.
send
All of a sudden,
We should send that
I was
highlight.
not there
Yeah.
blocking. And I
There
was
was
like,
definitely no block up.
Yeah.
Well, I bit because you did a jump back set.
Yeah.
And I bit on your jump set. And
We
I was
should
like,
throw that highlight up for Nick's.
We can do that.
For the
Oh,
team.
did you video it?
Yeah.
almost
Yeah,
took my. I've already seen the
We did a
video,
little
dude.
Sweden
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
set, no one up, and Wilcox just ripped one, and Nick somehow got his hands up and dug it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I missed the set too.
Yeah,
Good play.
after that,
Good
you
play
can
for your
cut it
boy.
after that. But I was like, oh, he still got it.
Well, when we had Jose on when he first started coaching, he said that his transition from player to coach was pretty tough because he said you have to. And I'll always remember this quote: "You have to kill the player inside of you."
Yeah.
Oh.
How have you found that? Because you're still pretty fresh into coaching from playing. You're not that far out.
Have you killed him?
Yeah, no. Deep down inside, he's still freaking.
Still there.
We can see that
He's still
yesterday.
there. I think I've played like every day since I've been here. Some sort of fours, co-ed. Like I played with Brooke.
Oh, you might actually. That might be your third firing after playing with our
Yeah.
group the other day.
Yes, I played. And it was me and Kenyon were the guys, and we were separated. And then it was like Brooke, Nancy Mason, whatever, about 10 years older than me that I played professionally.
It's a fun group.
It was fun for me.
The OGs.
Well, he played. We were playing fours, and he was like in every spot, like
I was just digging.
cutting off people. Like
Yeah.
he was doing everything, and we're like, just tone it down.
We
a little bit."
won. I did a short serve for an ace, and then after the game, she's like, "You can't short serve us." Like, so I'm pretty sure I'm not invited back.
Yeah.
But I'll play anything.
So that's twice you've been fired for winning.
Yeah, right.
I
Exactly.
just don't get it. I told Brooke, I go, I don't know any other way to not try and
No,
get a ball
you'll
up.
be invited
So
back.
if you like winning, send your kid to Florida State.
No, but yeah, it's tough to let that go. But that's what I think coaching kind of, you're still that competitive kind of, whatever. I like to consider myself still an athlete, but now you're just trying to share that with these girls and hoping, a couple kind of pick it up and kind of run with it. We've had some great athletes there. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's tough to do. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Because we're pretty competitive in anything and everything.
Well, and I think when you're
Haven't
coaching and you're watching a game, like you're putting, or at least I'm putting myself in that game and what would I do to like try to get a point or whatever. So if you're like trying to, I totally understand what Jose is saying. And I think there's
Jose
a lot of
was
truth
also
to that.
like the most freakish athlete of his
100%.
generation.
Yeah.
So to expect, like what you're talking about earlier, expect other people to do what you used to do or see it your way. Like, well, you just hit straight over everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I know.
Option.
I wish people
Can't
could
teach
watch
that.
video of Jose playing. He was so good.
yeah, but even after, because he played after he had his hip replacement.
Yeah.
So he wasn't jumping as high.
Yeah, he could.
But his hand
adapt.
contact and vision and IQ was still elite.
Competitiveness, yeah.
Yeah, he could beat anybody.
Yeah,
So-
his competitiveness was crazy.
It was not too many people like him. So, but it is tough, right? When you see something like Brooke was saying, you're like, well, I don't understand how you didn't see that. Like I see it.
Well, that's not what I say.
That's what I heard.
That's not the dialogue.
That's what I heard. So I'm just saying what you want to say.
No, actually, that's not.
No, it's yeah, I don't know. I'm still learning how to do that.
Yeah,
That's what I was in Stad. I was hanging out with Rich Lamborn for a little while, and he was talking about how there's this trend where mediocre players often make the best coaches because they have an easier time explaining what's happening versus the top of the line, where it's just like, well, like a Jose, like just jump 48 inches and hit it on the 10-foot line. It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
journalists make great coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's all like what the definition of like a great coach.
We look at like a
Right.
Hugh McCutcheon. Mediocre player ends up being a pretty dang good coach, or a Marv Dunphy.
But is that just because he got the best out of his athletes, or the way he
Maybe.
trained, or,
Yeah.
or is he coming up with the drills?
That's like
or-
that culture thing too, right? Like some coaches are fully bought into one thing that they think will bring out the best in the athletes, and maybe that's just bringing out the best game out of each athlete, and you're not even really focusing on the volleyball part of it. And then other coaches are going to really teach you the X's and O's of volleyball and like everything in between, right?
Yeah, and like skill development.
Well,
Yeah.
what about well, here's my debate though. Give me the Spurs coach.
Popovich.
Like he hasn't won. He's had the worst team in the league for the last
And they
7
still
seasons.
consider him one of the best coaches.
He is, right? He's
Yeah.
won, but hasn't been successful in
Right.
7 years. Is
Right.
all of a sudden he's just not a good elite
Right.
coach,
Yeah, exactly.
or is it who you're surrounded by, or what? That's
And is everyone supposed to do what Phil Jackson did? Like, you know, being this like spiritual coach, like
who played with
teaching, yeah.
2 of the best
Michael
generational
Jordan,
players.
Kobe,
Yeah.
Rodman, Pippen, yeah.
So-
Shaq.
It's yeah. For me, it's I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because I think he was Popovich's all time,
Yeah.
For sure.
but it hasn't been successful.
Well, that's
forever.
That's why you have to like be authentic to yourself and what you think. Like they hired you guys for a reason, right? For what you bring to the table. So like being authentic to that and bringing just everything you have to the table, and whatever that shows up as is probably the call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's so impressive what like a Coach K was able to do at Duke,
Yeah.
and going to University of Maryland, hated Duke.
Right.
Hated him. But then you look at it, it's like this dude won for like 30 straight years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
That is wild. With no like Popovich years, where they're like at the very back,
Yeah.
right? They might have had down years, but down years for them is like fifth,
Sweet 16.
right? Something like that. Yeah. Fifth in
Yeah.
the conference or whatever.
Florida State's knocked him out a couple times. Pump the
Just
brakes.
saying. I don't really follow college
But I think
basketball.
he's. I mean, I think they've won 3 times, 4 times with him. They've lost a ton. Adam would know the stats.
Yes, he would.
But the end of his career, like that's what I'm saying. I'm still trying to learn what the definition of a great or elite coach is.
Yeah.
So
It probably it varies per level, I would think, too. Because at the professional level, you look at a Belichick, and he's kind of in that Popovich category where he's going to go down as probably the greatest NFL coach ever. But his
Yeah.
last handful of years in New England were
yeah,
bit of a disaster. But at
Right.
that level, it is just winning.
Yeah.
It doesn't. But at the college level, winning's obviously very important. But you're also helping young people become adults.
100%.
And it's there's two intertwining goals there in what you're trying to accomplish.
Yes. And I think that's probably the most important part.
Yeah.
Like you're hoping once they leave, like, they're going to be better kind of humans moving forward and learning kind of, we have kids that have been there 4 or 5 years that haven't really played, but continue to go out there and do everything we're asking, work like they're professionals, right? And still kind of not having what they want come to which, but they're going to grind in life no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's...
Yeah, like we can see that change.
Yeah.
But if they're only valuing on if they're in the lineup or not every time, I mean, it's hard. But we have like amazing players that are just like awesome people, and I mean they're going to be successful in whatever they do. And that's like, I'm like a team person. Like I love being a part of teams. I love the sacrifice of it, and so like trying to like put that on a group of new people every year is like a goal. But it's just like the best thing ever. Like you were on a team indoor.
Yeah,
it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I miss it a little bit for
There's
sure.
a lot of hard parts.
It's hard when your whole team is one person.
Yeah.
That's a whole tricky thing in itself for sure. But that team atmosphere is you can't really simulate it in anything else but in sports.
Yeah.
It's different with beach volleyball though, because really I think it's an individual athlete. Like you're hoping to find a teammate.
Right.
How many? It's rare when you see people play for 2, 3, 4, 5 years together. Usually it's like, hey, I'm picking up this person, and then
You're talking about professional,
professional, yes.
Yeah.
Beach, the collegiate is a team, but as soon as that's gone, it's it's an individual
for sure.
athlete.
Yeah.
One of our athletes learned that right away. Like she graduated, played with someone, played 2 tournaments, won that tournament, and the girl dumped her. I was like, yeah, unfortunately, that's part of the
welcome.
Yeah.
Constantly trying to upgrade
exactly.
and
she was like, this is my partner. I'm gonna.
Yeah, we committed for the summer.
So that's tough.
I was like, commit for the summer. Yeah, that's about it.
I like A-Rob's rule, where he's like, there's one person who has a set partner. That is whoever is playing with Phil. They're not dumping Phil. That's it.
When Hayden picked me up, he's like, all right, man, let's do this. I'm in. But if Phil calls, I was like, oh, yeah, for sure.
You don't even have to say that. No.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for me too, bro.
Well, at least he was honest from the beginning.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have to say it, but...
Yeah.
Do you guys help out when the girls go play AVP? Like a May Anderson. If she goes out and plays pro, or like if she calls you guys for advice or to coach her in the box or whatever, I'm sure you guys keep tabs on.
Yeah, they've asked for Manhattan.
I'll try and help Maddie, Brooke Bauer. Got to coach a couple times, and you want to see them succeed, especially the girls that kind of just did everything you asked and want to kind of continue to do it afterwards.
Yeah, that's got to feel good as a coach to see them succeed after.
Yeah,
it's cool, but it's hard, right? Like, especially there's so many good girls coming out of college now. Like every year, like Megan Kraft, takes a second and a third in whatever the top FIVBs are now.
Stade in Vienna.
Stade in Vienna.
Yeah, so I mean, she was playing in the national championship game a month ago, 2 months ago.
Against,
she's different.
Like some of the girls that she's played against on our team are like sophomores in college, and I think it's just insane.
The reps that girl has it's got to be unmatched. Maybe Gradina had similar at that time, but
Meg probably had more growing up. She's been at Wave.
Yeah, she played AVP since she was like 16.
Yeah, I mean, her and Delaney made the quarterfinals of Hermosa when she was a junior. And then next year, Daniela and Tanya are going to come back.
Yeah. TCU is going to be really good.
They're still in college?
Yeah.
They redshirted this year.
Yeah, why do they want to? Don't they just want to enjoy professional life?
And I think
good luck with that.
I mean, the Puerto Rican team.
Yeah.
Did Alana?
Hector's got a couple
did she
internationals.
commit somewhere?
She's going to TCU.
Got it. So yeah, her and Maria. I mean, they could have made the Olympics easily.
Yeah.
They could have won that Continental Cup.
And the Ukrainian.
Yeah, they're going to be good.
Those
What's her name?
Those girls are good.
Anya?
Yes.
Yeah, like TCU, I think will be the team to kind of beat. But again, comes down to a single elimination tournament,
yeah.
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 and not always the best team wins.
So what is what month is it? What does the rest of 2024 and 2025 look like coming up? Any big changes?
Yeah,
Any big
Announcing?
announcements?
Well,
You stealing anyone's coach?
we're stealing a lot. Do you want to make
Steal. Are we talking about?
We're announcing
Florida
our new-
State's.
we have a new
QB,
assistant.
new QB, DJ.
/ journalist?
However you say his last name, DJU.
Ukulele.
Yeah,
Something like that?
Something like that.
Well, there's
Yeah.
another person in this room that
Yeah, I'm aware.
everybody tries to pronounce their last name as well.
Yeah,
different
I
ways.
can't do it, by the
Yeah.
way.
It is a little tricky. I think I got it down.
Kim tried to tell me, and he said it 5 different ways. I was like, Kim, what are you saying?
I just remember the "muh" part.
Yeah.
And then the rest is pretty easy.
I can probably run you through the 5
cool.
variations he gave you too. We got Merriweather is the most common.
I like
People
that.
love adding that.
They say Mayweather.
Mayweather.
Yeah.
Very common. Mule. Something with mule.
Mewhirter?
Mule.
Oh,
mule
really?
worder. Mule herder. Yep. I've got hit with a man hitter once.
9-hitter.
Yep. Yep. So it was Nick
Mewhirter.
Mewhirter. Now it's just Mewhirter and it's indecipherable.
Mewhirter.
Illegible.
Yeah. Well, Travis Mewhirter, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Will be our new assistant at Florida State. Big changes. We're so
Exciting. Yeah.
excited. I know.
Co-assistant.
Comes
There's
highly
no
recommended.
first assistant or
Well.
second. Just so you know, it's not a hierarchy.
I thought you were going to say
Between,
second assistant.
no,
He just came right in, right there with you.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Wow.
laughing because throughout the whole year, whenever people found out that you were helping me coach Try and Came, they're like, so wait, Nick's Trav's assistant? I was like, all right, now the universe is probably flipped around.
Now I
I'm
realize
Nick's
what Nick was
assistant.
doing the whole time. He's just planting a
Got
seed.
you back, bro. Remember all those demands you asked?
He did not kill the player. He's
No.
just competing in all facets.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we are so excited.
Mm-hmm.
The permagrin on my face. I'm sorry to take him away from
That's all right.
you, but
I'll
the
just
training
come to you
camps are
guys.
there. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have a
High
whole
step sauna,
setup.
bro. High step sauna. We got it
We're
all.
getting it fixed.
It was
Yeah.
nice. I even got tickets to the basketball game while I was out there.
Yeah.
The massage parlors in town they weren't great. Maybe stick with campus. You know,
I think that you tried to do on your
PTs.
own.
I did that on my. That was all way
That
too
was a
far off
bad
campus.
Yelp search.
Find a
Yeah.
Thai massage place. That makes sense.
No, I got to stick with the campus ATCs for that one for sure. But yeah, I was well taken care of.
Kind of random how it all.
It was. It's
Happened too.
Seriously?
magic.
Yeah.
Well, we had a little magic.
Yep. It's very fortuitous. I
Yeah.
say, don't stress, Brooke. It's going to work out. It's
Yeah.
always going to work out. And then, I don't know. I was on the phone with Brooke. She was yelling at me about something. And I see.
And 15%.
Yeah.
What he said.
And I saw Travis with your mom and
Yep.
your son. I was like, all right, I'll call you back. And I was like, yeah, you like it out here? You see yourself living out here?
So how do you like paying taxes? Would you like to have an extra room and maybe a yard in your house?
I mean, I don't know. Like, after doing this is what you're getting yourself into here. So hopefully there's no second guessing.
No, zero. I mean, especially like the more time I spend around you guys, because anytime I spend around Nick, I'm like, I need more of that in my life.
See? I'm waiting for you to say
I've been
that.
saying that for
One
15
time,
years.
one
I mean, come on.
But I mean, yeah, it worked. Like coincidence, fate, universe, whatever you want to call it. Because I had just been talking with Delaney, and I was like, we don't know how the league's going to shake out, but from September to maybe March, I was like, there's not a lot of like opportunities for us to make money in beach volleyball. Because I mean, coaching after Chicago, we were like, well, there's not a whole lot on the schedule. And then I was like, I can coach more, do whatever. And she's like, I'm sure it'll work out. 10 minutes later, run into Nick at Oakberry because my mom gets off the plane at LAX and she's like, hey, it's good to see you. Where's my acai bowl?
Right.
All right, great. Mom, we'll get you Austin. Walk out to Oakberry, run into Nick at Oakberry. He's like,
That's crazy.
still like it in California? I'm like, yeah, I mean, we like it right now. We're always open. Because we'd been joking the last couple of years anytime we left the state because we knew we weren't California lifers. And we're like, no, we're just going on scouting trips, scouting out Montana, North Carolina, whatever. I was like, we're open. It was a little bit sooner than I think we would have planned and expected, but when something like this falls in your lap, you can't. We were like, what, can we even find a way for it to not make sense? Like, there's zero reasons for us not to take it. So I've been super stoked about it.
No, I can't wait. And that's kind of the situation we were in when that job, the head coaching job, opened up. Like, we had Gunner, and it was just like both of us trying to play professionally was rough because, babysitters and all that stuff. But Tallahassee has been awesome. The people are awesome. It's the South, and I just think people are just really genuine there and care. And plus, the university is like a pretty cool place to be. Yeah. And I think you're going to love it. And I love that Delaney played college beach volleyball.
Yeah, that's a sneaky thing you get with Travis because, he's passing it all through Delaney. And she had, at least when we first started, she had more coaching experience than him.
I mean, it still does. I got 6 months.
Like, did you filter this through Delaney? You did? Okay. Then I'll listen to you.
Pepperdine came out to play in Tallahassee when she was on the team. Not when she was coaching there, though, but when she was on the team. So she actually got to play on our courts, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, any like awesome, like she's just an awesome person and mom and volleyball player, same as you, like that we can get around our players. And like, also, I think you have a natural gift for obviously talking to people and sharing, like, and the fact that you started playing when you were 24, like kind of reminds me a little bit of Nick, because he like wasn't in organized volleyball growing up, like probably you and I were. And just like having that aspect of sharing with our players is, I think, really just like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's a
and I was
perspective.
So bummed when Brooke Bauer said, like, I was like, no, this is a terrible timing. Like, what are we going to do? Like, and Nick said I was kind of stressing about it. And then I was like, man, change is good. You just got to accept it. And it's going to be awesome.
Trust that something will happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily for acai bowls.
Yeah. I'm eating at Oakberry. I haven't even been there.
It's delicious.
So the fact that you guys saw each other there, like, that's crazy.
It's fun. I mean, you just go back, and my whole life out here, really, you just go back to the ripple effects of small things. Like the fact that you were one of the first interviews I ever did for that one book. Yeah. You remembered that, and you were like, hey, I'm kind of sick and bored. Let's start a podcast. Yeah. And then just the sheer ripple effects from that. Yeah. Like 10 years ago, if you'd say, hey, this is your life right now, I'd been like, well, I've never heard of beach volleyball, so that's a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
Yeah. I think it's cool, too, like, that you've kind of just followed your heart in this path, and it's led you to have this unique perspective that it's kind of unmatched. Because, like, mediocre player in terms of where you got to. Yeah. Sneaky good somehow for how much you've been playing. But I don't think you ever got to that point, like where me and Nick, or where it's just like, we're just trying to win all the time, Yeah. You like always had that perspective of like, I'm going to see what I can do my best, and I'm good with it, which is like crazy for me, like seeing you just walk off the court smiling, win, whatever, lose, like, but it's a unique perspective, and it's good to have that around you, to someone that's not just like been in it their whole lives. And then he has the journalism and then the broadcasting part of it, which when I was out of the sport, one of the biggest things for me was getting into the broadcasting, which I wouldn't have started the podcast if I hadn't done that. But I had watched so much more volleyball and like talked over each point and explained to people what's happening out there. And I learned so much from that. Now you got this guy, the lead broadcaster for the World Tour, who's watching the best volleyball in the world like every single day, and all the best ones. And I'm like, oh, that's actually good, because I don't like watching film that much. So to have my coach watching everything all the time, it gives him a lot of credibility when he tells me something like, hey, teams are doing this. I'm like, yeah, I can't question it because you've literally watched everything. Yeah. So it's a cool thing that you guys got new perspective. Plus, this guy's a good learner. Like, he's always open-minded to learning, and it's not like and Jose was probably the most impressive learner because he came from so much success, but he's not like a Jose coming in with like all this player success and he has to kill the player, really. Like, he just kind of is in that space already.
Yeah.
So I think it's
it's
a good steal. It's a good steal, guys.
It was a steal. We are so excited. And I think somebody that...
I'll just coach myself.
Well, I did my research, too. I called the references. No, but I like that Travis will, like, challenge us because, like, obviously we understand the unique situation we're in.
Yeah.
Our personalities are very strong. Mm-hmm. And then to have somebody that has just such a strong personality, too, and, like, confident in what you do and what you see, like, is really cool. And so I'm excited to learn a lot as well. And just kind of expand our coaching too.
Yeah.
What's I mean, like I'm 6 months into coaching, and so it's been crazy to see like coming in with Tri and Cam, and then Betsy and Julia. And when I started coaching Betsy and Julia my first day, I went to say something. I was like, no idea how to talk to them. Whereas we're trying Cam, like I've been friends with you for 7 years. Cam, like we've been pretty good buds for a while, but then like developing a new rapport with a different team. And now me, Betsy, and Julia, we talk every day. Yeah. And it's just like that part I think is super fun. Just getting to know someone and seeing how they tick and trying to find a way, the best way to communicate with them. Because how you talk to Tri is so different from Cam. And how you talk to Betsy is so different from everyone else, and Julia the same way. I love that part, and so getting to do that with an actual
22
full team.
Yeah, 22
people.
of them.
Come on, and you guys too, because like I've known you for a little bit, but we only talk like once a year, like at best.
Well, and I have to say, his cover letter for his application and resume, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever read. I was like, I just want to keep reading. Like he just has like a gift for. And I think, like I said, like our players are awesome people, and they just like they appreciate people that are really good at a lot of things, and just like that's what we kind of preach. So I think it's just a perfect fit, and I can't wait to tell the team and introduce you and get you started. So now I just have to be patient, which is hard for me.
It's been funny trying because like I haven't really wanted to tell people until you told the team. But the volleyball world, tell one person.
Mm-hmm. Came. What do you mean tell one person? Tell Came.
And Billy Allen.
Came is...
which I didn't even tell Billy. But,
no, Came.
But I had to tell Came because Came and James asked me to coach him.
Came's like
here's the deal.
Yeah.
And
no, that makes sense.
You tell Came.
Yeah.
No,
you tell Came and Tim Brewster, it's out.
Oh, Timmy,
the
really?
original social media.
The guys are worse than the girls. Well, it's funny because I tried to play dumb with Billy. Because he's like, I heard you're getting a new coach. And I was like, oh, yeah, Brooke wants to play professionally and focus on that. Like, she actually wants to train with her partner, not train here and her train here. And he goes, no, you've hired somebody. And I go, dang it, Billy. It's like, who told you? And he's like, Came. And I was like, okay, well.
Yeah. Kamer, that's the town square right there.
Yeah. We love Came, though. That's okay.
With a smile, laugh, giddy.
Yeah.
He's so sweet, and he's so funny. Like, when you guys sit at our house, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's personality is contagious. So we're okay with it. I wanted to share, I want to yell it to everybody. So, and I've seen you wearing the Florida State hat all through the training. So I feel like people are going to start connecting the dots.
A little soft launch there.
Yeah.
Just seeing how many people can pick up on that.
Yeah.
Because at Evans, Corey's engagement party last night.
Oh, they're engaged. We just saw them.
Yeah, proposed yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she said yes. Champagne around. Yeah, but Evan was like, heard my coach is leaving me. And I was like, well, who told you?
Oh, no.
And then he's like, the whole engagement party. Oh, congratulations. I was like, all right, word's out now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we got to tell the team. Oh, good. I got to coach Savvy at a tournament last year, Hermosa. I really enjoyed working with her.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she's awesome. Another great personality. Like, just has a gift for making people play well.
Yeah.
That she plays with. She's awesome.
That's why we brought her on the pod.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Sav's role is probably going to be a little bit bigger on the pod.
Yeah, right.
Someone's going to have to sit in this chair.
We're just going to trust podcast is going to adapt.
We could have
in a beautiful way.
California crew, and then you could have a Tallahassee crew.
Yeah. East Coast set.
I'm volunteering Nick.
Podcaster.
Amen.
Yeah.
I'll do
Perfect. We'll set it up in the
Unfiltered,
garage.
though. Unfiltered.
We're taking over the kids'
PC
room.
stuff. Yeah. Oh, the kids are out.
No, we have a cool team room. We actually have something.
Oh, yeah, in
similar
the
to
team
that.
room.
Yeah, the team room.
Oh, team room?
Ooh, good point.
You can make or your guys' office could just be a podcast room. I have a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
I'm in. Blue sky.
Your
No
guys'
bad
office,
ideas now.
Office guy, look at you.
Well, only we don't like to be in
Wait
the
till you
office
see
either.
it first. No.
Yeah.
I'm not an office guy.
We definitely need these painted windows.
Yeah, the fake windows
Yeah.
is good. Now the secret's out. It's fake. Everyone.
Yeah. Oh no. Shoot.
Like,
We'll
man,
bring
there's
Gab
really
out.
never went any wind outside.
When you come out for training camp, we got
Yeah.
to bring Gab out.
Yeah.
yeah, she
What can we do with the
redo that.
office space, Gab?
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, and Delaney's
100%.
gonna get chickens. Like I can't even contain my excitement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
That
getting
doesn't
fresh
surprise
eggs
me
and-
at all.
Delaney's
Yeah.
first
I'm
question.
gonna make chickens.
And
We're
a
gonna have
garden.
omelets every day.
Yes.
First question, I go, like, tell Brooke and Nick, like, we're coming, it's happening, walk out the door, and Delaney's like, all right, now it's official. Am I allowed to get chickens? Like, in Tallahassee, I think you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A lot of our neighbors have
You're an
them.
early riser anyway.
Yeah.
Chickens. If you're not an early riser, no, you don't want those.
Well, you just can't have a rooster. Chicken's all right.
Yeah, all right, sure.
It's,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
That's
already.
fair.
We got deep into the chickens.
Yeah. We're
What kind
doing
of
it.
roosters?
We learned that from Zana, actually. She's like, as long as there's a rooster pretty much within the zip code, your chickens are still going to lay, but you don't have to deal with it.
Oh,
A rooster.
interesting.
They just have to know that a rooster's around.
Yeah. Yeah, just got to have one nearby.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll bring Ton out too. Don't worry.
Whatever you need, bro.
Yeah, well, 2025. Let's win a natty.
Good things
Let's go
ahead.
Knowles.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, Huntington too. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, how many trips do we have coming out here? Because last year you guys did the Cal Poly.
Yeah, we'll do that again.
And,
we'll
East
do
meets
the
West?
East versus West, and then Huntington would be the third.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
When you guys go to, I guess when we go to Cal Poly, do you fly into LAX
Yeah, we
and
goose.
bus? Or is it you fly into NorCal?
No, we fly into slow
Got it.
minivans. You ready to drive a minivan with
Oh, that's fun.
7 players?
Well, I'm about to drive a U-Haul
you're
across the
gonna do-
country.
that's
You're
how
gonna
you're gonna
drive
do it.
Oh, you're driving.
Oh,
Driving,
I feel
towing
like
the
that's
car.
right up your alley.
Yeah. I was debating getting it shipped, but I was like, I feel like as a dad, it's something I got to know how to do.
Were you doing
Just
it
drive a
solo?
truck. Yeah. My older brother might come out.
Jason did
actually.
that.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to drive, but I don't want to like drive straight.
Well, I
I'm
did
trying
it-
to do it in like 2 weeks.
Want to know
kind
what's
of thing.
crazy, actually? So when I made the move from the Panhandle to California, I drove across the country, packed everything I owned in a 2008 Chevy Aveo, which
Doesn't sound big.
is smaller than a Civic.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm coming out, wife, kid, U-Haul, everything. I told Delaney, I was like, can we just sell everything and buy things again?
Right.
She's like, no, we actually have stuff we want to keep.
Well, don't rush it. You
Yeah.
know, like don't try to do it in like 4 days.
No, I'm booking it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I
are?
can't. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just putting on an audiobook and I'm going.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's what I would do.
I'm not driving with you.
No, I could never do that.
Really?
I don't think so.
I did it in 3 days, east to west. I think I'll probably try to do it in 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. Well, I was actually, my original rough draft was to do it in 2. You go here
You don't
to
have that
like
jumper's
Tucson
knee
or here to
anymore, do you?
Austin, and then Austin to Tallahassee.
Yeah, that's not bad. A lot of our players live in Texas and they drive. I think it's like
Okay.
10 hours.
Yeah.
Something like that. 10, 12 hours.
Yeah, because last year I did a road trip to Colorado for an elk hunt, and it was 16 hours there, 16 back, just 16
Actually,
one way.
I did tell one of our players that I spoke to, and her dad hunts, and she checked you out on Instagram. He's like, he hunts.
Yep.
She's like, oh my God, I'm going to have to tell my dad.
Oh,
and
let's
I was
go.
Like, yeah.
We already
he
got
has the
that,
whole thing.
that parent-coach bonding going on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But now you got to learn about NCAA compliance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
need
whole,
help with that.
That's a whole fun
Yeah.
party in itself.
Super fun.
I mean,
Super fun.
yeah.
Well, is there, what rules are left with NIL?
You'd
I
be
feel like they've
surprised.
probably thrown out everything. It's
Yeah,
rewritten
it's
the
like some
whole.
of them you're just like, wait, I'm just trying to be a normal person and I can't do
It's
that.
silly. Like the other day at this tournament, they wanted the AAUs. The guy's like, hey, can you just hand medals to these athletes that win? He's like, I want to try and get Olympians. I've had every Olympian, like Mike Dodd, all these people. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I can do it. And then whatever. I double-checked with her. She's like, I don't know. She's like, go call compliance. I was like,
I didn't say it like that.
huh? Pretty sure that's exactly how it was. Because she was probably dealing with our kids. And I don't like to... Yeah, anyways. But I called, and the guy's like, yeah, no, you can't do it. He's like, it's potential. Like these are 12-year-old girls,
Right.
that I can't just hand a medal to.
The boys you could, yeah.
Yeah, the boys I did. Anyways.
Yeah, it's little things like that.
Oh, right.
It's
Yeah.
stupid stuff.
Actually, Todd runs into that a lot because he's an Olympian
Right.
and like he has a gold medal, and people always want to take a picture with his gold medal, and like I don't know, it's just
It's
like
like a
bit
recruiting
weird.
tool, like you're using.
But he
or
doesn't.
something.
Like
No,
people
you
just
don't
like
do
go
it.
watch him,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. So it's like weird. Like you can't. Like
Yeah.
he had obviously a successful career, so did Nick. So it's like you have to like separate yourself and
Right.
think like an NCAA official.
Also,
It's just such a bummer because all those rules are written for the lowest common denominator possible. Like the coach who would actually use that to recruit a 12-year-old kid when 99% of
Yeah.
people are just, here's your medal, congratulations, good
Yeah.
job.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
yeah, you're just stoking them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did. So I handed it to the boys under 12s, and it was Crosby. I handed him a gold medal.
Oh, nice.
Jake's son.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I said, unbelievable. And I handed it to him. And he's just smirking. He's like, that's right. It's another gold for the Gibb family. That's what I heard him thinking. But Jane was there watching, and I sent a picture to Jake. But it was pretty cool to see him play. He was the best player on the court
Oh, wow.
He's really competitive.
by far. Like, hand set's perfect.
Jake's sneaky, probably the most competitive person ever.
100%.
I don't think it's sneaky.
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
it's sneaky?
I feel like, on the outside, people are like, oh, Jake's just so nice and polite on the court. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure he's just the most, like, fierce competitor
Yes.
out
Yeah.
here,
He's super. I mean, Jake's one of the nicest people of all
He
time.
is,
But
too.
you get him on the court. Fuck, I hated playing against him.
Yeah.
I love when the AVP mic'd up the ref stands after a while. One of my favorite.
Oh, to the COVID.
I loved listening to you talk to the refs, by the way. You and Hayden were all time. But Jake was saying, no, I didn't touch it. And you're like, don't trust him.
Yeah, it cost me a championship in Utah, where him and Casey summoned the whatever, but we were up 14-11, me and Ryan Doherty, and they side out, and Ryan Doherty hits it off Jake. Both linesmen call touch.
I remember that.
And fucking sorry for swearing. And Dan overruled it. 14-13. We crumble. Call timeout.
He believed Jake.
He believed Jake
With the home crowd,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. I swear.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lie, but it would have been Ryan's first championship. We ended up losing 16-14. But to this day,
It doesn't
Yeah.
bother you at all.
yeah. And
Clearly, he's moved on.
I didn't touch it. I said, yeah, you got to believe me. It's like,
I feel like Jake has so many like wins where he's been down 11-14 and won. Like
he's
there's
not a
so many.
competitor.
Yeah, that's like hats off to him. I wonder what that stat is. Would that be
Yeah,
interesting to
that'd be
find
a good
out?
one to try to track down.
Yeah, if you could. I'm
Jake,
not that type of person. But
he made me and Delaney laugh so hard because he was on our 6-man team last year. He was talking about playing a CBVA, maybe an A with Crosby. And he said, so a lot of people are thinking, like, it's Jake, not going to try that hard. He goes, but people are ripping jump serves at Crosby. So Papa Bear comes out.
Yeah.
Jake's like, I'm bombing jump serves. I'm like roofing
Yeah.
people.
because they just want to beat Jake Gibb. They don't care.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I was laughing so
I love that
hard.
about him.
Yeah.
Way to
Yeah,
go,
that
Jake.
kid's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's pretty talented at 12 already. And I was like, man, this guy, Jake's built-in a beast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he sticks with it.
Yeah, hopefully there's something for him to stick with it too.
Hayden's kid, too. He's going to be a beast. We took
Yeah.
him in the gym with Mikkel the other day. And he was like legs burning, shaking. He's just like,
Oh,
just
Jack.
sticking it. Yeah, just like not like wanting to get out of it or anything. I was like, dang, most kids are like, why are you making me do this? I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
His
I
dad's
can't wait till the
posters on
girls
wall.
come
I'm
up.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
yeah, this hiding
Let's go.
grit thing got passed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All your girls. Sophia Dahlhauser is going to be a beast.
Oh yeah.
No, she's not
I'm
coordinated. She's going to be tall.
She will be coordinated. She's
No.
so tall.
She's not.
She's built
Right
like
now,
Bill.
she's not.
Yes.
Sebastian.
What
He's
about
getting
Sebastian?
into it, huh?
Huh?
Sebastian's really
getting
tall,
into
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean,
Sebastian's-
is in the volleyball, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Phil always says Sophia can't. Yeah.
What about your boys?
Gunner will play. he wants to be good at everything so bad. He's got the heart for it.
He does have a big heart.
Cole,
he tries really hard, like when he's playing. He's not quite there yet, but he's
it'd probably be Ryder, our
be.
youngest, who's a menace.
Yeah.
So he's just, I mean, he's already got like abs. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's got, like,
we're at
60.
their house, and you guys like make them work out to like
Play video games. I got that from
to
Phil.
play video games. The kids are all just like doing crunches and like push-ups and stuff. Like, whoa.
Well, it started in December. Phil, we kind of we go to Orlando. We'll get a hotel for a couple days or whatever, and Phil met us there. And they have like an outdoor thing you can surf, like a wave pool.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So Sebastian goes on it. I was like, God dang, Sebastian's got like little pec definition for 11-year-old. I go, Phil, what the hell is Sebastian doing? And he's like, well, he likes to play video games all the time. So I was like, I start making him lift and do these little exercises so he can do it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a freaking genius idea. So I just adopted it, and now the annoying thing is I don't trust my kids. Like if I can't say, hey, go do it, and they'll actually do it, I have to watch and monitor. But they just want to do it all the time.
Drop and give me 20 now, and they do right in the kitchen. Just like,
they'll wake up. They're like, I did my workout, and we're like, no, you're not playing video games.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
That's how my dad was with our TV. Every commercial break, we had to do 20 push-ups.
Yeah.
So if you watch a Super Bowl,
Yeah,
It's
right.
a lot of push-ups.
Yeah.
20, wow. Yeah, but they've gotten so much better, because at first they were just like bobbing their heads, and now they're like,
yeah,
you can do it. It's
But our little one is like,
Hammer.
yeah,
He's
It's
getting
wild.
beat up by the older ones.
yeah.
No
Fight
deal.
for everything.
Yeah. Cheap shots, bites them, runs away. He's fast. You can't catch him. It's
I
annoying.
just read the funniest thing. Have you guys read the Talent Code?
Yes, I have.
And the funniest stat, so all the top 10 sprinters of all time, they were either the second to last or last kid born in their family, because youngest kids have to try so hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, at first, like, correlation versus causation, we don't know, but at some point there's too much evidence to the contrary. So like if your youngest kid, very likely to be your fastest.
I feel like I had a major advantage being the youngest.
Oh, you were the young of 3?
4, yeah.
Oh.
All sisters?
No, I have a brother that's 10 years older. But mostly it's just my sisters that were there growing up. But they're like, they could beat me up until like maybe I graduated from college.
Yeah.
So it was proper. Yeah. But no, for sure. As the youngest, you like get to watch them, right? You're like at their soccer games or their water polo or whatever. You're like, I'm not going to do that. Like, they're getting yelled at for that. Like, okay, I'm going to...
Yeah.
You just get to learn without having all the growing pains. And then you succeed.
Turned out all right.
Sorry, oldest kids.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I know. We don't know what we're doing with sports for our oldest yet. We're just like trying to figure out. I'm sure the younger ones will benefit from us. Like, so I
It's
feel
a
bad for them a
job.
little bit.
Like I see these
It is.
parents traveling with all these kids.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a
it's-
lot. I don't know if
It's
I'm
a big
like
commitment that I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like, 'cause
travel ball. That's the cool thing about Hawaii. Is like it's just a little island, so
Yeah.
like you're good driving around.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we drove 6 hours for practice. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm complaining about driving them like on the north side of town.
Yeah.
No, we won't do that. Let's go to the local park right here and pick that league.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see. Now they're in the middle school, so they'll do middle school, or my oldest will do middle school football. I guess he wants to do.
Sweet.
He's like 70 pounds, and they had him at nose guard. I was like, this might not work out well, but he loved it. He loved it. So we'll see. Whatever they want.
They come out and romp around in practice every now and then.
Yeah, sometimes they there's a few cars buried in the sand, different places that I'm sure will
Girls
be
are
tried
driving.
up.
Just
Yeah.
like, oh, Hot Wheels.
But yeah, they're like kind of mom centered right now. So usually when they come, I feel like I'm not doing my job. But yeah, they'll like a lot of the girls will like play with them too, and it's pretty cool to see that relationship. So for Austin, like I think that's awesome that that our boys get to see these strong, powerful, awesome young women, and they like get to talk to them and hang around with them, and So I think that's like a unique environment. Like it's weird that we have all boys, I think, but yeah, it's kind of special.
Just added another one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Actually, when Jason was our coach, he had a daughter, and it was pretty cool to see that. But yeah, they're going to have another little boy. They're used to it. And actually, when one year after we had our youngest, I had him like 5 days before the season started. So he traveled with us. And it was like really cool to see, like after a game, the girls were like, "Can I just hold the baby?" And I'm like, "Yes, just hold the baby." You know, and then we won, like there's videos of him like with the trophy and the conference championship, and the girls are like trying to put him in poses, and it's like it just adds a different perspective to, you know, you're so centered on volleyball and like wins and losses, and then you just see a cute little baby and you're like, come on.
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah,
He's been a good team mascot this year.
For sure.
Yeah, but when he comes, it's funny. He shows up, and Tri came, like, "Hey, what's up, big boy?" Play with him for a second, go back to practice. Betsy and Julia, 15-minute break.
yeah, yeah. I know. If you ever bring him, like, there's not a lot that's gonna get. He's
That'll
so
have to
cute.
be an end of practice.
Yeah, he is so cute. That or if dogs go by our practice, or puppies, they're like, "We can't play anymore." And I'm like, "What do you mean you can't play anymore?" Yeah.
I quit.
Yeah.
There's a puppy.
See you tomorrow. But yeah. No, but he'll get a lot of love for sure.
Yeah. When do you guys head back to Tallahassee? How much longer we got you here for?
Next week.
Next week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nick might stay a little longer. Got a 6-man championship to try to aim for.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You staying out for Hermosa?
Hermosa.
First week of September.
Oh yeah, I want him to play
Come
in
back
it.
out.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Let's get a ringer.
I'm too
Seriously.
You and Jake.
competitive. I asked Jake already.
But then you have a young in that. That would be fun, actually.
Yeah. Something happens to Ron, you let me know, bro. I would need 3 weeks.
will, actually.
I would need 3
100%.
weeks notice. I was talking with Paolo Louis, and he was, I think there's like an issue with being the same as another tournament or something.
Laguna.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same weekend.
Kind of. Laguna is a Saturday, Sunday. Hermosa ends on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. And so for 95% of the players, it's not a problem. But for players, I was talking to Chris McHugh about it actually, because from Australia, he wanted to play Laguna.
Oh,
He's
really?
like, "Can I play both?" I was like, "You can, but if you make Saturday and Hermosa, then it would be a problem." And even though he just took 9 months off, I mean, he's still pretty dang good. He's qualified for an elite.
He's probably
Like
good.
you're a pretty good favorite to
Jumps
make
40
Saturday.
inches and goes on 2.
And just annihilates balls. dude.
Just a huge dude and like never gets tired.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
he'll get tired running that system.
Yeah.
Yelling, running all over the place the whole time.
Yeah.
Not tired.
Well, yeah, him and Paul Burnett, 0 shots, just
Nasty.
Yeah.
bombing. But
That was my last FIVB match.
I was gonna say you played
against
that.
them.
Yeah, at night, where I was trying to dodge getting hit in the face in Mexico.
Tlaxcala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one side you couldn't see the lights, and I was like, Andy, we just can't serve that side anymore. But those guys just annihilated balls.
Yeah,
For sure.
but yes, for most people, it's not a conflict. For like 5% of players,
Yeah.
you got to pick.
Oh, interesting.
But
What did they pick?
yeah, I mean, I think Hermosa to me is a no-brainer, especially since the prize money is going to be higher and
Yeah.
it's here. But Laguna's a great event.
Priority
I've always
6-man,
loved
though.
it.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We should do a 6-man podcast.
That'd be fun. Be
How
here.
do we do that?
Get Frito out there.
Maybe we do it at Shellbacks.
You'll be gone.
Oh my gosh.
You'll be in Virginia.
Well, before. 6-man.
Try the new
6-man.
co-host here.
We'll do a
Playing
six-
now, so.
Yes.
6-man preview. We get
Oh, yeah.
one representative from each team. Ideally, one of the bench guys. And we'll just run them through the
Round table.
studio.
Yeah.
Round table it.
Can make that
I
happen.
think that's a great idea.
I hadn't played in forever, and I played last year with Soho, and I was like, man, this is one of the most fun events that I've. It was,
Yeah.
the group of
you
guys that you
hitting?
kind of,
Hitting?
No, I was back row.
Yeah, so that's why it was fun.
Yes.
For me, they're like, oh, yeah, big pin hitter. I'm like,
Oh,
no, I
we
don't
had,
like
Tony. Tony was
ripping
our,
balls.
Sorelli.
Like, every
shots.
time. Like, no,
Yeah.
I'll play middle. That's it. Slice and dice from the middle, stuff some balls, get out for the back row. That's my commitment. Usually.
I can tell you what a big problem for our team it is that me and Rosie run a 6-2 when I'm front row. The guy who hits high
You're not
lines and
an
cut
indoor
shots
guy.
gets it every ball.
Yeah, no. You want Indoor guys. Indoor pin hitter guys.
No, I swing line out of
The guy
bounds
who's
every
never
time.
stepped on hardwood
And I
besides
hope we catch
basketball.
hands.
You got a good mix on your team.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We should get the odds going. Imagine if we got the betting going on that.
Oh,
Bet online. We have a link, in our bio if you guys want to check it out.
I think the team that won last year now is getting Taylor Sanders. So
Oh, Sanders is absolutely built for.
yes, so it's going to be tough to probably
tough.
dethrone those guys.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's fair.
Well, my team's got Mark Williams. We were talking about earlier.
Yeah, but Willie,
Year off.
He
Two
was.
lefties.
the problem with Willie.
He was great. He was
No,
great.
volleyball is not the issue. It's the booze around.
Well, I was going to say, in your betting, you have to
keeping
go
Willie
okay,
upright.
over under this many drinks in the.
Right. That's fair.
Should be a category.
That's part of the heckling, right? Is like the teams that like didn't party, like we didn't see you last night,
Yeah.
cheaters.
Yeah.
Well, I've always wanted to see it get factored in because when I like growing up golfing, I used to work at golf courses too, and so we'd play like the club championship, and then after we'd play another 9 or 18 holes beer scramble. You get a stroke taken off for every beer you drink.
Oh,
Then you got to find the proper balance.
There you go.
that's a good rule.
You hit a tipping point, and all of a sudden
Oh,
you're
for
sure.
taking quadruple bogeys. It's not worth it.
So you could
Yeah.
start like up 5-0
Yeah,
Right.
Back
in the
down.
volleyball.
Oh, you're talking about volleyball?
Yeah, like if you applied that to the six
Right.
man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If your team goes out, okay, we get a +5 to start.
yeah.
I think we should do that episode. By the way, we just
What?
get the lead heckler on each team to
Yeah.
come in and filter through. Just
Yeah, you
try to hype their team up.
How many
Geeter
teams
will be-
you think are in that tournament?
There's a lot. I mean,
I don't know.
32? More than that?
I think it's a good over under.
Yeah.
Well, because there's different divisions, right?
Yeah, there's like masters.
Are you in Masters yet?
I could play both.
You're eligible.
I think Casey's team won that last year. Patterson.
Him and he had Vince Vaughn on the team, I think.
Vince Vaughn was on everyone's huddle. He was in
Yeah,
our huddle.
That's a solid heckler.
Like
yeah.
he's just a motivational speaker
Yeah.
to
Right.
everyone.
yeah.
But yeah, Masters division. I'll do both.
Damn, now I'm getting more bummed that I'm missing it. I committed to my team and then uncommitted. They're not happy.
Who were you playing with?
Simsies, 2-time champs. When I was there.
Virginia Beach will be similar to like a Denver event.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
I don't.
Taylor's won't be there, and Allison Corey won't be there.
Yep.
Kamen Shaw, Cook, and Caldwell are there.
How exciting is that
Apparently
going to
I'm
be?
the
That
Oh,
that
really?
match.
Yeah, I didn't know. We didn't have
First
points.
time you play Kamer. You serving Kamer? And just taking
Sure.
away his high line swing and just have him deep in the angle? What's the deal?
Watch
Yeah.
out for Jamesy on too.
Curious how.
Yeah. I don't know.
Kid's pretty physical.
Got to win that one,
Yeah.
though, right?
Huh?
Got to win that one.
You know it's your matchup every time you
Every
guys.
time a
Yeah.
partner change or
Yeah.
you play them.
First
would've-
year, me and Trev and Theo happened, 2 or 3 times?
Yeah. Man, I would have died if you guys just did the full wife swap.
I was
And
pushing
you got
for
it.
It was
Trev.
on the table. A lot of people were pushing for it,
Yeah.
for sure. And I was like, I'm taking myself out of this conversation.
Because that
See
rematch
Rosie
would've
out in
been-
the sand. He's like, so, what are your thoughts on putting it back to, I was hearing it from all of them. I was like, all
I'm
right.
surprised he doesn't coach. Does he coach?
I'm surprised, too.
He doesn't.
He was always,
yeah.
I don't know. When I played, I would be like, hey, what would you do
Right.
against this team and the women's side? And he'd be like, oh, this is what I do. And
He's smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows the game. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know why he doesn't coach.
Doesn't
Because he
wanna do
loves
anything.
being on the
Yeah.
sand and just being out there.
Yeah.
It's like his whole life.
People's champ.
People's champ.
Sean Rosenthal's the
They
people's
should put a
champ.
statue of him in Hermosa Beach.
Yeah.
Like on the pier.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. There's a surfer statue there.
No.
Surf
I
and
always
Hermosa.
think that. And then they put a statue of like, and I'm an ocean guy, I respect it, but like they put a statue of the paddleboarders in Manhattan Beach on the pier.
Oh, yeah. That's
And then they got a
interesting.
surfer statue in Huntington. Like Hermosa, the surf sucks here. Like I love surfing and it's right here and I never get good waves.
What's your favorite spot?
It's the
out
best
here?
beach volleyball place in the world. Best place to surf.
Yeah, like El Porto. Like, what's your?
If you have to go in the South Bay, El Porto, but it still sucks. if you're from a place with good surf.
Yeah.
Heard they're
Huntington's way
moving
better.
the surf in LA from Santa Monica to Huntington.
You can't surf Santa Monica.
Yeah. That's what I was
No,
wondering
it
where
was
they're
never
going
going
to
to
For,
be
like,
Santa
the
Monica.
Olympics?
Yeah.
It has to be Huntington.
Oh, it
Yeah.
has to be Huntington.
No,
You can't. There's nothing
Santa
here.
Monica's
Yeah.
not. That's
Yeah.
it's just like little shore break.
Yeah.
For sure, it's in Huntington.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
They should do it in Hawaii. If they're doing France and Teahupo, they should do.
Yeah. Well, they're moving
should do
softball
LA and Hawaii.
to Oklahoma. Did you see
No,
that?
they
yeah.
are?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And people are like
So it's like a USA
kind of
Olympics.
stoked on it. Kind of not. It's kind of hit and miss because Oklahoma's like the
Yeah.
softball mecca right now. Even though I mean UCLA was like one of the OG powers in softball, but they're kind of moving it wherever there's already big audience. They're kind of taking it to those places.
So would you go to the opening ceremonies and then fly to
No.
Oklahoma?
I don't think they get to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Most
that's a
sports
bummer.
that are outside, like surfing's never gone to the Tokyo. They were like 2 hours outside the city. They didn't go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have an issue with softball in the Olympics.
What's the issue?
Oh.
There's 6 teams total.
Oh.
You have a 50% chance of making a medal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
a good point.
I was like, you
And
shouldn't have
wait,
6.
And you have to have one team from each continent, kind of thing. Still.
I
So
don't
like you have the.
I don't think that was the sport.
country that doesn't
I feel
actually
like
play.
that's an unfair thing because they took it away from the Olympics for a while. So why would a country have softball if it's not going to be the Olympics?
correct.
So that I feel like it'll. Increase.
But I don't think in Tokyo, the Florida State coach won a bronze medal with Canada.
Yeah, she
That's
coached
awesome.
Canada.
It's like, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Freaking cool, man. And then I was reading, I was like, 6 teams are in the tournament. And I was like, well, how is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like, already your odds of winning a medal are higher than any other sport. 50% chance of,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
I like those odds.
So, yeah.
And if you have that one, like, Africa team, like for in volleyball, it's that one Africa
They
team.
might
That's a
not have
guaranteed
been
win.
of, I don't think there was the African continent team there.
Yeah, I wonder how. Like, I wonder if it's
Mexico
different.
was there, and U.S. and Canada, so that's 3 North
right,
American
yeah.
teams.
Oh,
Japan,
Australia, I think, has a team.
yeah.
Australia,
But I'm like,
Japan.
you can't do this. Like, you got to build the.
Yeah.
Give us more teams.
Right. We got
Come on now.
breakdancing this year, right?
Olympics are getting a little silly. Yeah, breakdancing, flag football is going to be added in 28.
That's interesting.
yeah.
It's getting a little out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that snow volley
out there.
didn't make it.
Yeah.
They tried. They pushed.
They
You don't think
did.
that I would have been excited to watch that? I don't watch the winter.
No.
I would have signed up for
Dude,
that.
Have you watched snow volleyball before?
I've seen highlights. Like they're all.
It's not a spectator sport.
Oh, really?
It's bad. It's a blast to play. Once did it.
Gotcha.
Great job. Never wanted to watch it again because they did an exhibition in Pyeongchang, and it was Jiba, Emmanuel
Yeah, yeah.
Rego, and Ricardo's kid for Brazil. And you just watch. I mean, you got between Jiba and Emmanuel, you got 2 phenomenal volleyball players. Looks awful,
Yeah.
unwatchable.
I would be afraid to do
Well,
it.
you'd have to have gloves on, right? Unless you're crazy.
Yeah, we had.
I'd have like 4 layers of gloves on, and just
when
be
we
like
played, it was warm
pillowing
enough.
the ball.
Yeah. Well, I thought what was really cool was the ball. You know, those like foam pool balls.
I could not play with no glove, no chance.
It's
Yeah.
not a
The
Hawaiian
ball was
sport.
cool.
I
It
can't
was
play
like
out
that.
here. I wear gloves.
It was like a volleyball wrapped in that like foam kind of thing. That you
Oh yeah, those. Yeah.
which is kind of cool. But like,
So
you go to
even
hit
more
it. It's
of a.
yeah, so I'm glad that didn't make the cut. But
Yeah,
there's some
me
other
too.
Olympics getting a little
If
wild.
I could have just snuck in there and just get a sneaky little Winter Olympian card,
Yeah.
you know, like train for a month and just like, oh, I made the team, Winter Olympian. Look at me,
With my 8 gloves.
like the Jamaican bobsled team
The Hawaiian,
with my
the
Mickey
Hawaiian
Mouse
playing
hands,
snow
just the
volley.
gloves. Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
We
Yeah,
should just
go
do
out
that
there with-
anyway. Yeah.
Because you could like put something in there to make your hands like harder. You could like sneak something,
I wonder.
and
There's
then
probably
be, like
no
big
rules
hands
at
and
this
then
point.
metal inside.
Yeah, like a little metal plate in the
Yeah.
middle.
lead in there.
Oh, there we go. Now we're talking.
Well, guys, you
Yeah.
good, Nick?
Well, no. It's you threw me off with the breakdancing thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because I just don't
We got
understand
to check that out.
How do you judge it?
Got to at least check that out.
It's gotta
But
be
how
like
did it get into the Olympics?
It's like gymnast floor routine, right?
Yeah.
Like difficulty of move. They're really just stretching, like trying to see what exists and seeing if they can bring it in at this point. That's why it's difficult for Olympics to carry so much weight in our sport, being our once every 4 year Super Bowl, when it's like, let's take a look at what this event really is. Like, it's not a beach volleyball event at all. We're a small part of it. We're a great piece of it for sure. But it's not for our sport.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get into that too often.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want to see other sports fall into the trap of the Olympics as sort of this false idol. It's like, oh, we'll go to the Olympics, the whole world's going to watch it, and then they're all going to be fans forever.
Yeah.
And it just
right.
doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's never happened.
Golf, basketball, like these other sports, even like surfing, where they have their sport, it happens, oh, cool. Now we get to go watch them play over here, then they come back. That's not the everything. Like,
Yeah.
the actual sport itself is the everything.
Yeah.
Which is not always the case for
NCAA has done more for beach volleyball than the Olympics.
I agree.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's why I hope, I've probably told you guys this. I think eventually there needs to be some sort of pro level where it's that kind of format, whether it's 5 teams or 3 teams, but having that.
It'd be so cool.
I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
At the national team level,
Yeah.
right?
Can you imagine
be so
top
fun.
3 Brazil versus USA or whatever?
We kind of did it, right? When we did that exhibition
Yeah,
in
and
Brazil.
we did that, and they did it also in 2009 in
Arizona.
Glendale.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And it came down to Phil's match, Phil and
I
Todd
remember
versus
that.
Allison and Harley.
That was the coolest thing, seeing the obviously what Phil did in that match,
Yeah.
but seeing you guys on the bench sitting there cheering.
Yeah.
Like, we've never cheered. The only time I've ever been able to like feel like I'm on your team, Phil's team, was at the Olympics when COVID messed things up so bad that everyone's like, guys, are we all good? Let's just let's try to get through this as a country.
Yeah.
That's the only time I felt like we were all like together as USA.
Yeah.
But that event, I mean, these guys are on the sideline like, come on, let's go, Phil, be the beast.
And we
it's
knew
just
what was
blah,
happening
blah,
because
blah.
we've seen it happen so much. Phil just take over.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's nothing Brazil could have done about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, finally you guys got to deal with it. Literally like 9-1. He's ace, block. And I was like, oh, it's fun. Now I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, this dick's doing this to me.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure Phil had to feel really good, like his teammates are cheering for him.
yeah.
You don't get that
He's finally
environment.
like, now
you
Yeah.
give him
Stop,
motivation, and he's
Yeah. I mean,
It's a different
that's
level.
cool.
for sure, yeah.
I don't know what this league's going to be, but I think if it eventually gets to be like that, that would be pretty special.
yeah.
It'd be
Cool.
but
You cheer for
the
your girls
international
team.
thing. I've always
this
wanted
league.
to see a Ryder Cup type thing for beach volleyball.
Heck yeah.
Kind of very similar to what you're talking about.
And it's not
Because-
all U.S. Brazil nowadays either, which it used to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Germany
Like,
has
we
so
would
many
just
good teams.
dominate
Yeah.
back in the day, right? U.S. or Brazil. Now you have a few countries that are.
Yeah,
Apparently, Sweden's new team is
not.
gnarly too. They're
Dutch.
young boys.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, they're going to be gnarly. They just won a futures. Did I hear that?
I haven't followed the futures a ton, but I was talking to Razzie in Stad, and he was like, we got these young kids. They've been training the exact same the way David and Jonathan have. I was like, good.
Wow.
Great. Good luck, everyone.
Yeah,
Let's do that as a coaching staff.
Yeah.
Do a week in Sweden and just watch all their training.
Seriously.
That's what, when I was
And
on
then
the
our
road
kids, we'll
with
do
them,
it to our
You
kids
need
as an
like 3
experiment.
years to implement that,
Yeah.
though. Like, for people
Yeah,
to
that's
relearn
true.
relearn
True.
volleyball.
Yeah.
Long
Yeah.
time.
But when I was on the road with them, like Guadalajara, practice for an hour. They go home and just stayed and watched Fifi run a practice.
Yeah.
I watched someone else run a practice, watched a different French coach run a practice. I'm like, I'm stealing all of this. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hey, so Fifi's coaching now?
He's coaching, he coached Borger and Sandra Ittlinger.
Oh, Germans?
Yeah.
It's fun watching. He jumps in on practice.
He's
Just dominating them.
Perfect hand contact.
Yeah,
He was sick.
he should have played another the fact that Poland doesn't have 2 teams in the Olympics
Yeah.
is crazy because they've been so good for so long, and it's because he retired and
Yeah.
odd person out.
Yeah.
Like Piotr was odd person out, but Fifi was. I always look, and he's undersized. He's like 2 inches smaller than me.
Yeah. He's that small?
Yeah, he's. Oh yeah.
Because you're what, 6'2"?
6'2" on a good day.
He's
Okay.
pound for pound.
We'll give you the
Easily
6'2"
one of the
listing.
best.
Yeah. Him and difference with Bruno was Bruno could jump.
Yeah, he didn't have this
VP didn't
massive
have a
vert
jump.
either.
Yeah, but hand contact vision.
He was like a Polish Raji.
Yeah.
If that's a good
Oh, I mean,
comparison, right?
his low line was taken straight
Yeah.
out of the
Feels
Rockies.
like we're not serving him. We're not serving him. So we'd serve, ponytail, Prudell,
Ponytail.
magical hair. He would jump, and I would just look at it,
He could
swoosh,
jump.
and then that's how I got you, dude. So, but that's cool to see that he's coaching. I was always curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he almost helped them to making the Olympics too. They went on a crazy run at the end.
Wow.
They went like semifinal, bronze, silver, semi, Elite 16 quarter.
And they didn't make it.
And yeah, because Ludwig and
Country
Littman
quota.
held on. That one came down to Ostrava.
Speaking of
Yeah.
which, like that team, Ludwig, Littman, they could catch fire at the wrong time at the Olympics.
Yes.
Like
Oh, yeah.
definitely a dark horse.
Laura is,
In fact,
obviously.
I gotta go switch my bets. I bet the odds
Yeah.
are really good on that one. Because
They're,
Laura, she rises to the occasion. Clearly,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
already won it. Probably most competitive person on tour. And this other girl is a beast.
So you know what's funny? So I did brought Brian Cook in with his True Volley things, and so he's able to simulate the Olympics. And so at the end of our little preview of the Olympics, he ran a simulation. Finals: Laura Ludwig, Louisa Littman versus Kristen Tarrant.
No way.
Kristen Tarrant
Seriously.
handled him.
I'm gonna
but
go.
Wow.
I'm gonna go
good
back
acting.
and throw.
Louisa's
some,
a beast, man. And Laura, like you said,
Yeah, you coached against that, or you helped Maddie when they were in Canada and they played them, right?
I warmed them up.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
You saw them
can't.
in person.
But yeah, they had to unfortunately play Laura.
he didn't want to take credit because they lost the match.
No. I mean, I didn't coach,
I only warmed him up.
coach against Laura. Well, international FIVB. Like, what's the?
Yeah.
It's sad that you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
be in a box.
totally,
It's
totally.
a joke, I think, amongst other things with
Yeah,
the FIVB. But
right.
yeah, she had to play them to get in Laura Ludwig, and I'm like,
oh,
shit,
Tough
that's-
draw.
Tough draw, yeah.
It's the worst.
For
Are
a
you kidding
future-
me?
Yeah.
She's
No, this was Edmonton.
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 Okay. Challenge.
Yeah, Challenger. And I saw her partner. I was like, oh my gosh.
She's like
Yeah,
almost
just-
on the Mount Rushmore, right? I don't know if she's on
Ludwig?
it, but
I'd put her on there.
Yes.
she's on it.
I mean, well, you got to go Carrie Misty.
Carrie Misty, April,
Larissa.
and then Larissa or Ludwig.
Wow.
I
Okay.
think, right?
I mean,
And
Laura
Larissa,
has
you
better
get four.
finishes in the
Yeah.
Olympics,
I
right?
don't think Larissa's won a medal.
I don't think so,
Okay. Well,
but
there
she
you go.
won a
She's on
lot
there.
of other things.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laura's won. Yep. Yeah, Larissa's she's still a beast. I don't want her to hear this and then punch me. So Larissa, you're on it. You're on it, Larissa.
Punch me.
Yeah, well, great having you guys in town. Great having you guys on this podcast, but me and Nick will build our own East Coast studio.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what
Let's go,
the
Knowles.
studio looks like.
I'm stoked for the move to Tallahassee.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us too.
Congrats on stealing my coach.
Try.
Coaches, bro. Were we on a team, bro?
Now I get all you guys on my
Yep.
staff. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Your corner
Zoom
just
calls.
gets bigger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right.
Perfect.
All right, we usually sign
I'll
off
just do
saying
this.
shoots, but
I'll do both now.
Go
No,
Knowles.
it's the right hand try. It's
Or
only the
I'll
right.
give you
Only
guys
the
that.
right.
and
Yes, there you
Uh,
go.
What's this?
then That's the Trojan one.
Oh. Is it this?
I'm not a huge college guy, just Vikings.
Dude, it's time to let go of the Vikings, bro. I did it so long ago. It's been free.
When we win our Super Bowl
And
after
free.
40 years of pain or
Oh, Nick, you
however
got
long
that?
it takes. No, JJ McCarthy.
Oh, yeah.
He was a diehard Vikings fan. He bailed.
Once
bailed on us.
Jameis, I mean,
He went and had the sense that Tom Brady was coming over town. Oh, now I'm a Buccaneers fan.
I went with Jameis Winston. I was so
Yeah, he
sick of the
did. That's
Vikings.
fair.
I was like, I can't tell you how many times they'd broken my heart. So I said, I'm over it.
Yeah.
we'll take you on the Ravens bandwagon. Any day.
Stick with your
we got
Buccaneers, bro, and their current state.
You're a Ravens fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got Ravens Dalvin, huh?
Uh-huh. Got Dalvin.
They
He
got
might-
Derrick Henry.
He might be out of a job when we sign Derrick Henry, but we had Dalvin at the end of the year.
Wait, you got Derrick Henry as well?
They got Derrick
He's like
Henry
perfect for that team.
Yeah.
with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the backfield.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll take you on the bandwagon. I'll get you guys some Raven stuff.
Love it.
Sweet. What can you do? For the Vikings, huh? Although I have Jefferson on my team, bro. I just need someone to throw the ball.
Reigning champ over here.
Yeah.
I got his first round pick.
There you go.
It should be back-to-back
6 years in the making.
17.
I have two. I have 2 championships. He's got 1.
No, but he purposely did it. He purposely
2. I have an asterisk on 1.
had the worst team, so
With,
he could get all the good trades.
Canceling
win,
my
bro?
Burrow and Chase stats at the one game, which obviously...
Was that year that I won? I don't know.
No. I played
Oh,
Phil.
you think you should have an extra?
Yes, I played
you
Phil
would.
2 years ago in the final. And I had...
the DeMar
Chase,
Hamlin game,
yes,
right?
DeMar Hamlin game. And Burrow left, and I was down by like 30 points, and they canceled the game. And
Yeah.
so by default, Paul's like, Phil wins.
Right.
Yeah, there's an asterisk on that for sure.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
So, asterisk back-to-back champion.
No, that has nothing to do with my championships. You can do whatever you need to do to make
You're
yourself
early
feel
in the
better.
dynasty.
I got in early. Now I'm just in that rebuild, you know?
Yeah. I've been there. I was there for
rebuild.
5 years.
Yes. Anyway. We're
All right,
getting way
guys.
off topic now.
Enjoy the kid-free weekend.
Thank you.
One more day.
Enjoy.
Mimosas, let's go.
Mimosas.
By the way,